That's when Davos just says, so it's no hard feelings. It was a total joke.
I just got this pencil out. Don't make me do this.
We're live? Oh, we're live?
Oh.
Yeah, that didn't really happen. It wasn't really Davros talking to Roko. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of TVD RPG. As you can tell, we're on a different set today because I guess there was a show last night. There was a live stream or something. There was a game last night, I guess.
I think it was an RPG like ours.
Yeah.
Not quite.
I thought it was about rock and roll. I don't know.
It was something like basements and lizards or something like that.
That's definitely our game.
Yeah.
Basements
and lizards. Yeah.
Magic,
We're almost Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. So Crit Roll had their 100th last night, which is pretty insane. It was pretty great. Like Mercer was walking around before the game, and he was just like in this sort of just disbelief. Like everyone was amazed that we were.
Disbelief.
Yeah, 100 episodes, pretty rad. So welcome back to another episode. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get some announcements out of the way before we launch into today's wacky ass adventure. Does anybody have any announcements? Nothing. Okay. Well, I guess we'll move on. Wow. I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted. I'm still marveling over the fact that Gina threw out her back by sneezing.
That's me.
I'm
a human that does that, apparently.
Like, were there injuries to people in front of you? I'm picturing you destroying a wall.
What's that?
I'm picturing you just sneezing and pulling a bench like a Black Mary.
No, what's funny is if anyone has heard me sneeze, they know that is ridiculous because
like
it's
a mouse.
the gentlest. Yeah. I sneeze like Pikachu, but like on a gentle day, it's literally like achoo. So I was in the car and I seriously just went achoo. Oh my god! It was just like I barely moved.
Wow.
And I was in so much pain.
It's like describing an atom splitting. It sounds so cute and sort of like, oh, interesting, an atom splitting. I bet that's totally subtle. That's Gina sneezes.
That's
of course,
sneezes.
We are joined again today by the illustrious Darren DePaul, the great talent.
Hi.
And so we're going to be doing our bank heist today. Do we have?
No, we are not.
We are not robbing
No,
a bank.
we are definitely not robbing a bank.
Robbing banks?
We are not. There was fan art that proved that.
That's true.
We are
We're not
not.
robbing banks.
I want to apologize to our fans right now for saying what I just said, and I'd like to announce my resignation immediately.
Eric, sidebar.
Sidebar? Yeah.
We're robbing a bank.
Oh. So anyway,
Do I
we're
need
not
to
going to
give
be
you
doing
the
that
book
today.
I gave to him?
Right. It's paying off. Do we have any Wednesday Club announcements before we jump in?
I really love doing that show and we have a great time.
That's a good one, yeah.
I have a comics announcement.
Oh, I love Jody comic announcements. Yeah, go.
Next week, the first trade for Mother Panic will be out. So if you've been waiting to pick up a collection, it has the first 6 issues, which is 2 stories with art by Tommy Lee Edwards and Sean Crystal for stories A and B. And it's a good time if you like angry people beating the crap out of terrible people in Gotham.
Who does not like that? 0 people don't like that.
I think the terrible people in Gotham don't like that, but
That's true.
They might like it a little bit deep down because they keep doing things that make them get punished.
I always wonder what the health benefits for police officers in Gotham must be. I mean, it's got to be.
Have you ever read Gotham Central?
No.
Gotham
that
Central.
deals with it?
Well, it's actually about being a cop in Gotham and what that's like, and it's one of the best books.
It's
I would
Brubaker
love
and
that.
Rucka co-write, right? Yeah.
See, I'm terrible. I always get on public policy in Gotham. And that's the story I want. But somehow I don't think that's gonna play. I'm like, what are social services like in this city? How come they are still using
So today
Why are
on
you guys
Wednesday
doing
Club,
this to me?
we're going to be talking about.
All I want to do is talk about this.
So on Wednesday Club, they talk about things that.
So anyway,
that
tune
it's
into
a good
Wednesday Club. Real quick, I can't say anything just yet because we're doing a coordinated effort to make big announcements about the Twitch schedule and whatnot for the next season of Twitch. But I will say it is time to finally inform everybody that the end is nigh. That our Doctor Who story, this wonderful story that we've all crafted together, is actually the end is in sight. And so we will be, next week we'll be talking about it a little bit more, but Oh my God, this hush that has fallen over the table.
We're very sad now.
It is sad to sort of think. I mean, I'm really excited that we're going to be launching into Star Trek because it is becoming a full-blown show, which is going to be great. The show was always intended to just be an anthology show, but we all fell deeply in love with Doctor Who and didn't want to leave it, and that's kind of what happened. Which is why the name TBD RPG just stopped applying to the show, but somehow we just didn't let it go. So yeah, this has been the Doctor Who show. So this has been a lot of fun, and I'm deeply grateful. And I know a lot of the fans out there that watch our show are in love with the characters and, of course, Doctor Who. But I was a little sad. I had a lot of doubt about switching to Star Trek at first because it's something I've always wanted to run. And I've always wanted to do, but I did not expect, I don't think anyone expected that we would have the experience we've had. Do you know what I mean?
I could never have seen this coming in.
Yeah,
It's been amazing.
this game and this group kind of snuck up on all of us. And it's become near and dear to all of us. And which is why ultimately I realized that having a finite arc is exactly perfect because that's Doctor Who. It is bittersweet. And if there is one thing about Doctor Who that is the underlying central theme of its entire presence is that change happens.
I don't want to go.
All about
How could you?
Oh no, Jody. Oh, I can see the waterfall of chat going, Jody, no, right now.
I have to do it at least once an episode. It's in my contract.
Discord right now is blowing up. No, Jody. So anyway.
I'm sorry.
You're a monster.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I don't want to bring anyone down, but I'm seeing Hamilton next week. So
Yeah.
Darren's doing just fine.
So-
Darren's seeing Hamilton in New York, yeah?
in New York, I'm going
In
home
New
for a
York, he's
while,
going to
so.
Broadway and he's going to see Hamilton. So.
Hamilton, Groundhog Day, Indecent, The Play That Goes Wrong, and Kevin Kline in Present Laughter. So far, that's
Report
what
on
we have
all
so
of those
far.
things,
So
please.
far,
That's what we have so far.
Kevin Kline is in that caliber of actor who has always been dramatically underappreciated, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And even saying that because he is an incredibly appreciated actor, he has an immense amount of respect and admiration. But the thing is,
Yeah, he
Still-
should be an
still,
A-list.
the
He
dude
should be
is-
like super A-list.
it's like Val Kilmer's character work. Like I never thought Val Kilmer got enough praise for some of the character acting that he did.
Back in the 80s, when I was in New York, I
Yes.
saw him do Richard III
Kilmer or
in
Kline?
Central Park. Kevin Kline.
Kevin
He
Kline.
did Richard III in the
Central
park.
Park?
Yeah, in the Delacorte. So it's open air theater. And it started off really funny. And you're like, oh, Richard III is really funny. And then as the
Richard
night
III?
came
Yeah.
and got darker, the play got darker. And it's one of those theatrical moments where you're just like, I'm so glad I'm here for this. I'm so glad. It was just,
Wow.
Sounds amazing.
that's why I do what I do and love what I love.
Have you seen Vanya on 42nd Street?
Yes.
It's another everyone should watch that if you like Uncle Vanya and amazing acting.
I got
Yeah.
sentimental on this, and now we're commiserating as friends before the game because that's one of the things that I love about role playing games because this is what happens.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, it's about what we do. It's about,
Yeah.
this show has been about sharing our hearts with everyone, which is what theater and art is. And that's why I kept coming back, because I absolutely, I fell in love with it, and I adored this group
My
and your
mentor,
story.
yeah, my mentor always said that art is the act of being intimate in a public arena, and it's very true. And it's strange how these RPGs that we play, they start off as games, but at their core they are the same as any theater or painting or dancing. It's play. It's the exploration. And anyway, I know just like gushing and dumping sentiment on you guys, but
If I have to add one little thing,
Yeah.
coming in, the only people I knew were Amy and Gina. I didn't even know you, and I reached
Yeah.
out to you to ask if I could guest, and now I have all these new friends, and it's yay.
yeah. Which, by the way, quick little just throwing this out there, we might have another vast cast member guesting next episode, so stay tuned for next TVD RPG. Sam, ready?
Announcement!
Oh,
Unification
my-
Day is Monday.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. So final announcement, and then we'll jump into the game. What's going on?
Somebody's excited.
Sam, are you
Yeah, first of all, Sam, you have an announcement.
mildly?
Yes, I couldn't hold it back anymore. I'm excited. I'm trying to wait till the end of the announcement
Okay.
so that I can tell people that I'm excited.
Hey, can we
Then I
bring
get
Sam
too excited.
oxygen? Do we have an oxygen tank over there? Okay.
Yes, I'm excited. And
You're
one of the
excited.
reasons I'm excited is
Several of us are on a show that we do here on Monday nights called Vast. It's a sci-fi RPG, and it has 2 different crews. And every once in a while, those crews all get together and try to drive our DM insane.
I don't know how Jackson does it. I don't. I've run a D&D game for 9 players one time, and I will never do that again.
Because in the Trek game, home game, Jackson ran Unification Days with like 20 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's an admin.
So 10 people.
So this ain't that bad.
But there are certain characters who are going to meet for the very first time on this Unification Day.
Oh,
and
I see.
I'm real excited.
None of us know what Mirza is, so that'll be interesting.
This will be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
my first time having a unification day because I'm a season 2 character to all of these fabulous season 1 women, and I'm very excited to meet them.
pins.
Those are good pins.
So do I.
pins yet?
Yes.
Yes,
This one is the brightest enamel pin available on the Vast
Vast
store.
pins available on the Alpha and Geek and Sundry stores, and if you're an Alpha member, you get a discount of 10%, I think.
I think
Something
so.
I
like
should
that.
know that, but I don't.
Yay, buy stuff.
10 sounds like an appropriate
I-
thing to say.
Are we ready to jump into not doing anything criminal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. See what I did?
You're doing
See
it.
what I did?
Well done.
Read the first chapter of the book.
All right. So to wrap up, I wanted to. I mean, I'll probably be saying this a lot over the next few weeks, but just thank you so much to everybody who's tuned into the show and who's been watching us and who's stuck around. We've had such a powerful core viewership of you guys out there, especially on Discord and on Twitter. Y'all have been amazing.
The fan art.
The fan art and the penguins. I love the penguins so much.
To bring
And-
it back to theater, y'all are the audience, and you are actually an essential part of the art that we do.
Yeah.
Just because you're invisible doesn't mean that that's not
Yeah.
going on.
So,
a good way.
yeah, thank you guys. And we'll have more info and stuff like that coming up. But today we are going to visit a planet called, does anybody remember the name of this
Gulhoki.
planet?
Go
Hokie.
Hokie with the Hokies.
Hokie.
Hokie. Let's
yeah.
go.
Okay. So previously on the Doctor Who adventure, if you all remember correctly, you uncovered information that from a one Dorian Moldavar,
Dorian Baltimore.
who, as you remember, is a core character, who is a very shrewd and unscrupulous black market dealer who had a very unscrupulous demand. Essentially, you discovered that the final, according to your information, the final breach in reality is practically completely inaccessible because it just so happens to be torn open inside a vault, like a containment center or a vault in the center of a planet and is heavily guarded. In order to get down there, you were going to need people with the know-how, the knowledge, the blueprints, and everything else like that, because the race that guards this vault will not let anybody in, and will likely not believe you if you say, hey, the universe might die if you don't let me in the door. But the information supplied to you by what you thought was a TG at first, but turns out was a resistance fighter on Gallifrey, who had been dressed up as a TG deep undercover for years, and who had been a part of the prisoner escape that allowed both Rocco and Finn to get away from the clutches of the demented zealotry of the Time Lords back on Gallifrey. You guys learned from this TG, Calvrin, that Dorium had the information required to get into this vault and finally come face to face with the last breach that supposedly will heal things. You've also learned last game that by closing the breach, you've started to right this reality. Theoretically, things have started to change again, but according to Calvrin, things have begun to stabilize. And the universe seems to be out of impending death, and now seems to be for lack of a better way of describing it, it's now in critical condition, as opposed to on the way out the door, sadly. This has been a double-edged sword, because as you all know, Sarah Jane has gone missing. And the only people who are aware that Sarah Jane existed are the ones from the alternate reality. Everyone here is very familiar with Kate Lethbridge Stewart being the head of unit. This has led a lot of questions to what else is going to be changed, because over the course of the adventure, y'all have made a lot of friends. And in order to save the universe, suddenly it might mean imperiling some of those people. but your options are very limited.
Eric, don't you touch Seeps.
I knew.
dare.
I knew that's why you were looking at me. I mean, you.
I'm not even going to give you a stern eye for that. You
don't-
know what would happen if anything happens to Zeke.
I would say that with your, in particular, Doctor, with your knowledge of the universe, your character would know, and I kind of would sense, and this will be your call, but I kind of sense it's in your character to have maybe not brought this up, but and you can say you can bring this up whenever you want, but the Doctor, I think, would start to realize that everything is up in the air, like the quantum mathematics and temporal, the variables in play could mean anyone from this reality might be fair game. You don't know. You don't
We've
know.
been lucky the changes have been this small.
Yeah. It's entirely possible that the Doctor of this reality might return. It's entirely possible that River might disappear. It's impossible to know where the dice are going to fall in this reality because you never got a chance to get to know it before you got here.
I haven't mentioned it, no.
Okay, I had a feeling that's probably how the Doctor would play that. But basically, you've got to. It's that great quote from the Neverending Story. It has to hurt if it's to heal. It's kind of that thing where if the universe is gonna get better, you got to tear the bandage off, kind of thing. And you're not sure what kind of collateral damage that's going to cause to the reality that you have all come to know. So as that's been settling in on you, the information you acquired and the brief encounter you had with the TGs at Dorium's Complex's bar, you all have been set up for what could be accurately described as a bank heist.
We're not robbing a bank. What?
Essentially, you're trying to break into a highly secured vault at the center of a planet of a highly xenophobic race, and once gain entry, close this breach up for good and get the hell out.
And make a stop.
And make a stop. Remind me.
Vault.
The
I
vault.
mean, feel free to not hold us to this bargain.
Oh yes, thank you. Yeah, no, I was coming to that, but I thought
Oh,
you meant
right.
stop
Yeah,
before
no,
you
no,
got to the
sorry.
vault. Yeah, no, you're right. So the Dorium, yes, Dorium had a condition. He wants you to bring back a creature,
Eulogia.
yeah,
Eulogia.
Eulogia, who is apparently she is the one of the last members of her race, a race that had passed into legend, but apparently is still in existence. And for whatever reason, you don't know the details yet, but she's been stored in this vault, probably because she's a commodity or viewed as something rare and precious. But you also know that she's a member of a race that is renowned for being so incredibly etherically beautiful. It transcends sort of the geometric primal instincts of attraction that most people have. It's not something that you see and go, oh, I want to be its husband or wife. It's more of like, this is a celestial beauty to this creature.
Wait, what are they called in Harry Potter? I'm forgetting. Like Fleur de la Cour is half.
Oh.
By the way, hashtag if you want to hear Sam speak more French because it's awesome.
I speak Sam French.
Sam speaks some French. And
I mean, it's an
beautiful.
operatic language, so it's one of the three that you have to at least learn to be able to pronounce, if not speak properly.
Is it the Vila? Vila?
Yes,
Yeah.
there we are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was gonna say they actually remind me of those like bird people on the episode of Eon Flux, if anyone remembers that.
Oh, wow. That's a nice harken back. Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's like a harpy kind of thing.
Just so you know, and please don't hate me, but I have only just now started reading Harry Potter.
I'm so glad that you get to have that experience.
I am finishing book
That's
1
magical.
right now.
That is-
Have you seen the movies?
Do you know which house
I've
you
seen
are?
all the movies, but I don't care.
Okay.
The reason why I'm reading the books, no joke, is because I want to run an RPG.
Yes.
I can't though, not on GNS.
Damn it!
Because
But in person,
Warner
yes.
Brothers would kick down the door, run into the room, and beat me with a frozen trout,
Not
and
if you
then
don't stream
Geek
it.
and Sundry would then.
You can
I
play
can't do
it
anything if
somewhere.
we just do
People
it as
play
friends.
RPGs
I know.
not on
I
camera.
know,
Do it as
just do it as
friends.
friends. But
Friends.
actually, point of note: Dave Chapman, who created the Doctor Who RPG, actually created a Harry Potter RPG that he was trying to sell to Warner. But apparently, it's really difficult to get Warner's attention to do an RPG. So, yeah, it's just tricky. People have been craving for
Everybody
it.
send articles about Critical Role's 100th episode to whoever you know want to run this right now.
There's a lot of great fan builds out there, a lot of great ones, and the character sheet is a report card, so you get your character stats, but it
Yeah,
also
that's
tells
really
you your
good.
schedule for your classes and stuff. Anyway, there's a lot of great character builds out there. I was looking at the Fate system. We're totally off topic here.
No,
But-
yeah, do
Yeah,
it. Oh
but
my
anyway,
God. I love the
Dr. Who.
Fate
that's in the
system.
distant future. But yes. Anyway, I'm bringing it back. You guys are okay. Doctor Who. We're
So
doing
the
Doctor Who.
Eulogia
Doctor Who.
are
Okay.
similar to the Vila from Harry Potter in that they are mesmerizingly beautiful,
Celestially beautiful,
in
yes.
a natural way.
In other words, this is me.
Figure.
I'm setting this up, Sam, because I want you as players to know that there is a risk. There's a possible risk in encountering this creature because the legends say that encountering this creature is much like looking onto like the old Greek legends where you can't look away, or like think of the
Basilisk?
is it
Nar-
Bas? No, it's,
It sounds a little
No.
more like Narcissus and like just can't stop looking at
I
himself.
equate it to something
like
like,
to actually-
when Odysseus tied himself to the mainmast of his ship because
Sirens.
he wanted to hear the sirens. It's kind of the same sort of like, please let me go so I can run to them kind of thing.
So we'll bring some
So-
rope.
It's very dangerous, and the reason why I'm describing it and explaining to you that it's a celestial beauty is because nothing about the "oh my God, let me be your servant" attitude that apparently, according to legend, happens when you encounter one of these creatures. None of it is based in sexuality whatsoever. None of it is like I lust after this creature. It's all complete like. It's almost like you're looking onto
General
the divine.
infatuation.
Yeah, it's just dropping to your knees. Like according to the legends, this creatures from this race were notorious and renowned. They were known for being great leaders and diplomats, as you might imagine, but they were also known as being vicious tyrants. They could enslave races by willing them. I mean, just letting them enslave themselves to their masters. They went extinct long time ago. No one knows exactly how, but a lot of the historians say that it was a war, that the universe or the galaxy that they were in, people got fed up with their shenanigans, and a genocide was launched against them because they were decided that it was too dangerous, according to the histories. This is ancient history, by the way. So this did not happen. I know you're a time traveler, so it could be yesterday, but in the span of if we were going to do linear, this would be like equating us to Greek mythology, ancient. So that one exists today is pretty remarkable. And that's where we begin. If you remember correctly, we left off with you guys running into the TARDIS after your quick escape from the TGs. Yes, Rocco was like, they went that way. And the TGs miraculously did not succeed on because they're, for lack of a better way of describing it, brainwashed. So they have an incredible bonus to resisting psychic assault. But let's be honest.
Psychic, I just spoke to them.
You spoke to them in a psychically assaulty kind of way.
No. That was a presence convince.
That was a presence convince, but didn't you use telepathy?
No, I didn't have
No.
that until like 5 seconds
I
ago.
thought you used no. I'm sorry. I thought you were using your psychic power to influence. You know what? You know what the
I'm
problem
just
here is.
influential.
You know what the problem here is? I've been running this game for the master too much. I just assume anyone who's throwing down psychic power. And we will be having Taliesin Jaffe back with us as soon as he's got the bandwidth for a game. I don't know if y'all. He has been a very busy man. Okay, so we start off again in the TARDIS. You guys have jumped in the TARDIS. You went to the location where this data rod supposedly was, and with the help of K9, you retrieved the data rod that has all the information, and K9 has brought it back, and you now have it in your hands. You're standing in front of the TARDIS console, and supposedly this is the key to the last leg of your quest to close up these rips in reality that theoretically, from the sound of it, from the other doctors you've spoken to through the windows into the other universes, may have been caused by what you did in the Prime universe, saving Gallifrey. And you hold it in your hand now.
Maybe I should take a look at that, considering my life experience of breaking into vaults.
Zeeps goes, are we breaking into something?
Oh, yes.
Look, I'm a good guy, I am, but I mean, that sounds like fun. I mean, if I can help, I would love to help.
I did a pretty good job on the beach.
I'm better with technology, but I did do a pretty good job on the beach.
I'm gonna need your help with some tech stuff later, boy.
Okay.
Right.
Dangerously good team I've assembled here.
You slide that into the TARDIS console, and you see TARDIS begins processing it immediately. Again, it looks like it has one of those encryption nodes on it that the TARDIS is able to easily just slip past. And you see planet information comes up. A little bit about the race. Again, the race who... the planet is called Gulhoki. Gulhoki. And the Hokies that live there, as you remember, they are humanoid in appearance. They grow to about 4 feet tall. They have very bulky torsos and an extra pair of arms. And they are known throughout the universe for always sounding pissed off
So they speak German?
and angry as hell. Jody Hauser.
Germans are great. Their language sounds very angry. Most
No,
of the time.
I have a few German friends who laugh about it because they talk about how easy it is for them to sound angry when they're saying things that are very nice to you.
So lots of it's really pretty. There are way more angry languages. Like they have a very soft.
I agree.
Okay, so yes, so the Hoki are they're also known again for being very xenophobic. Their technology levels they're not anywhere near advanced Time Lord, which is technology level 9, but they are considered an advanced interstellar race. So far future Earth, so they're technology level 7. 8 is time faring. When you hit technology level 8, you can time travel. They are tech level 7, so they know how to travel throughout the galaxy and the universe.
I thought Gallifreyans were 10 and Daleks were 9.
Gallifreyans are Time Lord is 10.
Yeah.
9 is Daleks.
Yeah.
11 is ancient Time Lords. Technologies that have been long forgotten, that have been sealed in the vaults in Gallifrey, which should never be touched.
So like the moment.
Like the Moment, for example, which is probably the most devastating thing that the Time Lords have ever created. And then there is, in fact, a technology level 12, which states here, beyond comprehension. Technology only available to the Eternals. Yeah. So
magic.
yeah, crazy stuff. So, what do you do? You're looking at this thing. You're going to start lifting through.
Specs on the vault? Is it?
There. So the vault again. It does specify that the vault has one way in and out, which is pretty standard for a security. It is a teleportation node that basically allows people to go in and out from the core of the planet, from the surface command center. The command center itself is heavily guarded, and there are multiple security systems in place. But something you're starting to both of you notice, anybody who's looking at this, who's got a relatively decent tech level, would probably realize that Sam's phone isn't off. No, I'm just kidding. Would probably realize.
It's the only day of my life it has not been on.
It's
silent.
true.
It's really bizarre.
It finally happened.
The world has ended.
That's like almost as bad as being late.
Oh, real quick. I'm sorry. Before we continue, just real quick, what is everybody's story points levels at? Because we're about to start a new arc. You've got 5? Okay.
That's just from donation points, by the way. That isn't even like having starting points. That's just people throwing them.
How are you
out
guys
because
on?
you're wonderful.
You're maxed
I'm
out.
also maxed out.
Okay, cool.
This table's fine.
The
I'm
non-mega
down
powers.
by 1. So.
Okay.
I can't read my notes from last week.
Never change, Amy Dallin.
I think you actually calculated how to time travel in there.
Sorry, I like keeping detailed notes, and I have failed myself.
I just had a wacky idea. Maybe when the show wraps, we should do a giveaway of the character sheets that are signed.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Except for Amy doesn't want to give theirs away.
I have like 3 copies of my character sheet, so I can give one away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You've gone through 3.
Oh yeah, I think I have my original character sheet.
Yeah, I have 2.
That's the one I would.
Wow,
The
Rocco.
one that's all torn
You've come a long
to
way.
pieces.
Amy's has been
I know, I
mangled.
have pre-cyber arm and after cyber arm.
The security systems that are in place for the vaults, this is where it gets janky. Is it looks like it's entirely possible that these security, the systems themselves located on this. Let me put it this way: the data rod might be outdated. It looks like it's about 3 months old, which anybody who's used to robbing stuff knows that that's
lot
that's
of
a huge
time.
variable.
And were we getting covers to were we going to have covers to
No
sneak
covers,
in, or
but
is it just basically basic
yeah,
bank job?
It's
Okay.
all it is a blueprint of the inside of the vault, which is very handy. Thankfully, the vault looks very simple. It looks like it looks like they don't really expect anyone to. The security once you're inside looks nominal.
What systems are in place to prevent unauthorized teleportation?
Well, one of the systems that it theorizes inside is there is a temporal loop near a lot of the locks. Supposedly, people have gone in there to break in. If anyone has gone in to break in there before, they probably spent the rest of their existence trying to pick a lock without realizing that time was passing and died of old age while they were trying to break in. So
Cool.
every now and then, the janitor has to go down there and sweep bones away.
I'm guessing I might have gotten through a lock like that before, though.
It's possible, but that kind of technology does not belong to someone at their tech level.
Yeah.
So it's possible that they've contracted and paid lots of money. For a xenophobic race, they also have unique resources found on their planet that they're probably able to barter with. So just a quick look at the blueprints to this thing indicates that it's doable, but it's going to be very dangerous.
I would like, and I'll roll for this, but to see if I can figure out, like, someone who's not as tech savvy as us, but still, like, reasonably, like, where they could have beefed up in the past 3 months. To see if there's any specific points that we should be extra cautious around.
Okay, go ahead and spin a point. Do you want to spin a story point, or do you wanted to roll for this?
Yeah, I'll roll.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, then it'll be tricky, but I would say this is going to be an ingenuity technology roll. Knowledge will work too if you want to use your knowledge, if that's higher.
No, it's lower. 14.
Oh, you missed it by 1, so no. But you don't know why, but you're sitting here looking at this, and you're like, who would know the metals that it's made out of, and the layout, and everything else like that? It does have sort of a familiar architecture to it, and your instinct tells you that Velig actually might be someone who would know weak spots in the security of this place.
Hey, Velig, would you take a look at this?
Well, hurrah, huzzah, and flip-flappity-doo, which is an expression of joy that I have just invented, because I have invented a way to get us out of every jam. It is this large device behind me filled with every jam. I shall press the button. It has exploded and covered us with every jam. And now we can practice escaping from every jam. Sticky and yet delightful.
I enjoy both your jokes and your inventions.
Yes.
But if we could just clean ourselves up a bit.
Yes, indeed.
I just got new clothes.
You're like,
You
like
just changed.
like in game time 5 minutes ago.
God,
I'm gonna go. I
Pop!
just swap jackets again.
Okay.
Right, could we?
Yes?
like a
It's a good
shower
invention.
we can go into.
Perhaps humans might
my
say
God.
they
Can I
are
just clean up the
jelly
jam?
that I created it.
God.
Humans like.
You can purify the jam.
Damn it.
Thank
You even made Duncan cringe on that one.
Thank you. Human slang. I have learned human slang.
Anyway, perhaps apply that wonderful mind of yours
Yes.
to the problem at hand,
Yes.
which is, this is the bank. We wish to conquer it by not conquering it. We wish to get inside, get the thing we want,
Yes.
and get out. And we are looking for weaknesses in the system, but a true victory will be won without actual violence.
It's a stealth mission.
Indeed. Very much like covering oneself with every jam and arriving to say, hello, we are the jam delivery people. And
So it is an unconventional form of victory. You're grasping
Indeed,
it quite
it
well,
is.
Lily. Yes.
It is. I have even
God,
made
he's done
myself
it.
chuckle with jocularity and glee.
So this will be a bit like telling a very good joke, except it will be breaking into a bank vault. Can you help us?
Yes,
Take a look.
I will.
All
Shall
right.
I roll?
Yes, I would say make an ingenuity.
Oh dear, the dice have stuck to my jammy fingers.
I'll let you do an ingenuity, and I'll let you, if you want to, I'll let you pick between knowledge and technology.
Let's see.
The natural
Well,
wheelhouses of a centaur.
Let's go with technology,
Okay.
since my knowledge is zippity-doo and add-a-da.
You're the librarian.
Oh, what's that?
10.
10.
Spend
Third
librarian. Success. You can spend story points to bump up levels of success to a yes, but.
You
Let's see what happens.
gain a story point.
Yay!
Gain a story point by not spending a
By
story
by
point.
anyone who says I could make this succeed, but let's see what happens.
Let's see what
Gets a
happens.
story point.
All right.
Yeah, you spot a lot of weak spots. A lot of this metal would never withstand firepower from your gun. It's very likely that once you teleported in, you could conceivably, in a moment of protecting your friends, vaporize any enemies that were to appear instantaneously. And also the doors, you're not sure if anyone would survive a blast behind the door, but their remains could be captured and taken back and thus acquired.
So, Blue Death can help us achieve what we want. And yet, I have committed myself to protecting my friends and not harming others. This I have learned in the presence of the Doctor, as first librarian Velig of the TARDIS Library. Should you wish me to use this weapon of destruction, it could aid us, but I will not do it to harm others.
Gain a story point because that made Rocco so happy. So happy. Oh my goodness, so happy.
Have I maxed out? I'm at 6.
You're at 6? No, you can take another.
I've
Yeah.
got 7.
Gotta change the subject before I get all weepy.
Yeah.
You've been such a good influence on them.
It's astonishing.
I imagine you just
goes the
like
other
blew
way.
a kiss.
Just
That's the
hard
story
eyes.
point, yeah.
Hard eyes. So,
Anyone else have any thoughts? Silly, never done this kind of thing before.
I can't say that I have, and anyway, this technology is a bit beyond me. I'd like to, I'd like to say I'll take a look at it, tinker with it a bit, but I have a feeling it's gonna be beyond my capabilities.
Perhaps in the time it takes us to shower and change, we will come up with a suitable idea.
All right. I might take a crack at it since everyone else has.
okay. Yeah,
What
I
the
mean,
hell? Let's give it a go.
that's again the beauty of story points. So go ahead and.
Yeah, I'll throw one in.
I mean,
I'm an electrician
well,
after all.
I mean,
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
again. So just a quick reminder: you can use story points. You don't have to add to the roll. You can alter the
just
narrative.
Yeah.
So you could look at me
What
in
the
the
hell?
eyes and be
Let's
like,
just
"Hey,
do
I'm going to
that.
spend 4 story points or 2 story points or whatever, and can I recognize anything that I could do?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
think that makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how many would you like to burn?
2.
2 story points. All right. You kind of lean forward and look at the blueprints, and I mean, at first glance, Cillian, it's just overwhelming. You're like, "What am I doing?" Like, why did I even bother looking at this right now? And once again, you're kind of feeling that. I mean, it's been a while because you've been running around and saving the day, but once again, Cillian can't help but feel the same way he did when he first joined up with this group after being pulled out of a parking lot in London.
Bit out of his depth.
Yeah,
maybe?
you're looking at this going, I mean, at first glance, you're just like, why do they even have me here? Like, Cillian immediately goes into this, I can't. And as you're having this thought and you're looking through it, you start to slowly remember the rudder and being lowered on that rope. And as you're looking at it and you're thinking about that rudder and the memory comes to mind, almost the exact same moment, you begin to realize that in their desire to create an incredibly impressive, powerful vault that no one can get into, the lighting fixtures of this place are remarkably similar to like a warehouse on Earth. Like you're looking at the wiring, and the schematics actually tell you what the alloys are made out of. Like it's an incredibly in-depth, slightly out of date, but an in-depth recording of or image of the inside of this vault. And it's kind of remarkable, but you're looking at it and you're thinking, wow, this is actually kind of a basic setup. Like obviously they didn't think too much about this one aspect. Now, how you could use that to your advantage, you're not too sure, but there's definitely something in there you could tinker with. If you could get inside. Getting inside, though, you're not too sure about that. But if you could get your hands on some of the hardware, maybe like a wall unit, you might be able to futz with security inside this place, just taking a good look at it. It's one of those things where, like, as Time Lords, y'all are so used to incredible technologies that the little things might get missed, and that's where Duncan's magnifying glass has paid off. Yes, you're hearing a drill.
light
everybody. What's that?
You got a screwdriver in there, Doctor?
A couple of them, actually.
Normal one?
Oh, right. Somewhere. Hold on.
Well, we need to get in first, and I can't help you with that. But once we're in, I have a feeling I can. I have a feeling I might be able to get you what you need.
Fantastic. They haven't changed everything about it, I bet.
It doesn't seem that way. There's a couple of exploitable things I see on here where they haven't really taken care over some very basic elements of this thing. I mean, most of it, I've got to be honest, doesn't make any bloody sense to me whatsoever. But the parts that I do understand, yeah. So if you can figure out a way to get us in there, I think I can help you out.
I have a question for Rococo.
Yes, of course.
I'm afraid I've never asked. How many sorts of shape can you do?
Well, I can do mammal. Yep, that's just about it.
Could you do forearms a bit stocky, kind of angry?
I've never
Blue.
tried. It doesn't really quite specify in the rules. Can I roll for it?
I'm gonna rule that it's possible, but that's something typically out of your repertoire. That's
very, very much so.
Yeah,
I probably like this
you
one.
can try.
Do you have any good pictures of that of the Hokey and the TARDIS to pull up?
Actually,
Yeah.
and the thing that I wanted to do for this was like 51st century Google the website of the bank, because like, what's the procedure like for going in through the front door like you actually have something in the vault?
So if you want to do a search on the TARDIS, you actually will find that on the sort of galactic network, as it were,
Google.
you will find actually an advertisement for those who want to store their valuables on this planet as part. It's a commercial. You say, okay. Okay, so you press the button.
You're the one who said commercial.
I did.
You could have said
So-
advertisement paper or.
Welcome to the Gull Hokey Security Vault System. And then you see one of these creatures, the Hokey, appear and says, "Hello! We've got a vault and it's got stuff inside of it. And you'll love it because it'll keep your things handy. Gull Hokey, store your things with us."
I can't give you a story point because I'll use
It's
it
literally like
again.
5 seconds long.
That's amazing.
You see a quick image in the background of the planet Hokey. There's nothing else.
Does the job though, doesn't
It's
it?
literally one of these guys screaming at the thing, and it just cuts off.
So there's our options. We can try to sneak in. We can try to arrive undetected in another way. Or I suppose you make an excellent point. We could see if we can keep something valuable down there.
I'm going to go ahead and alert our audience. This will be, for our audience, this will be accurately known as the planet Ears. So for the rest of the... So just be aware. The Hokey are not... The Hokey are not Twitch
Friendly.
audience friendly. So, or alpha
Have
audience friendly. They're going to be...
fingers
Yeah, so... So when a
Just like
Hokey
make
comes
a-
up and starts
yeah.
talking... All right, So,
I can't wait for that.
Planet
Yes.
Ears. Welcome
Well.
to Planet Ears.
I have re-entered after showering, and I now sport a new outfit. No longer in battle armor.
You're not
I
in
wear
battle armor
something
anymore?
Appropriate to a librarian, a tweed suit with a vest and knickers and lovely socks.
I'm totally picturing Bellic dressed as Giles from Buffy right now. Isn't it? With just the only thing
Possibly.
not have the glasses.
Yes, so that I look more like a librarian.
He just stands there.
I've even gotten these little glasses that I have now broken.
Doctor, do you have any books that we would maybe
Zeep's just
use
stares
to
at you.
put what's more valuable
So
to
does
store
Finn.
away than information? If we wanted to pretend
The
to
two of us are
be
just standing next to
using the vault for their services.
I've got a lot of treasures in here.
Yes.
But I am a bit concerned, as we do know that this is also a trap.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
very
true.
much so.
So we might not want the
And
Time
we made
Lords
it
to be the
familiar because
distraction.
now we have to worry both about Rassilon and Dorian.
Right.
Well, then we might want to do what's not expected. And that would, zapping in's probably expected. I bet walking through the front door, not looking like us, might do the trick. Maybe have Rocco, if it works, in hokey form. And we sort of Trojan horse this. We're the valuables that they are depositing in the safe.
Maybe putting shackles on a Wookiee and leading them down to the detention area.
Do you have a Wookiee?
Minus the shackles.
Minus the shackles and Wookiee.
Well, we do know that they store creatures in the vault, so that wouldn't be completely out of place.
Right, but we're a bit known.
Conspicuous.
Yes.
Well, covered
I
in
mean,
jam you are.
Do
I
they?
showered.
I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
Cillian's not.
And my species is unknown. If
I
I
mean,
don't
I
shoot
was
no.
wanted throughout the entire
Maybe.
galaxy.
Has your picture me? Oh, right.
right, but if we're sort of in a box or something that looks important and shiny,
or just blue.
I
We
would.
might know
well,
what the TARDIS looks like.
I would
We
also
could throw
assume that they
rock over it.
security of this level. They're going to scan the things that go into the vault. So
right, but if they scan it, it would just be life forms. If it's just not the TARDIS, just like an actual box. You can say you're storing cargo.
Further thought.
And just hope they don't open the box.
If they're going to scan it, but your DNA is probably a bit more conspicuous than ours.
Do we know anything about
It's
does
a
the
real
system say anything about
jam,
whether they?
Belly.
Ah, maybe
Indeed.
you can
What are
jam
you
the
gonna do?
scanner.
Thank goodness I have developed something that will help us extricate
Maybe he
ourselves
can
from
jam
every
the
jam.
scanners.
Yes.
Do these
Is it
people by any
raspberry?
chance pride themselves on their
Every
discretion
jam.
with regard to their clients' valuables?
I would assume so.
If only
The
that
best- the
commercial
best
was
banks
longer.
do. Well, Rocco, there was a period where you thought you were the last of your kind, and that wouldn't be common knowledge that there are more of you on Earth.
Perhaps I could arrive.
That would make you valuable
with,
among certain classes of people.
Indeed.
That's true, although I am also rather good at talking, so I
And
could
they
be on
are
site.
the
That's
only
that
ones
idea,
that can disguise themselves.
True.
I'm so curious to
Properly.
hear what you're about to say.
Well, I thought I could come as I wish to deposit this wonderful specimen for a later date. I don't think anyone would suspect a Centauran dressed as a librarian.
No, I don't think anyone. That's no one.
I don't think
expects it.
anyone's seen a Santoran dressed as a librarian before.
Depending on
Hmm.
how good, how well we think we
That's
can
a plan.
convince them.
I mean, if you really want to jam up a gaming group, give them a game session where they have to plan something.
And we've
Yes.
literally jammed up our game.
Jammed up
Yep.
our game.
The last
Yes, I'm-
reference to that.
I'm less used to working with getting a team into a vault.
Yes, that
beyond
would, that would
myself.
cover
Yeah.
both of us, possibly.
If we're lying anyway, why don't we lie and say that we're the people who deposited the Eulokia? Get the Eulokia, and hopefully she'll be willing to help us and, on Rassilon.
It's a very interesting idea. I wonder. if
We're
we
not
did
leaving
put
her in a
that
vault.
bank.
Well, so that could be something that we could find out from records or just fool them. I don't know.
Doesn't happen to be in the information on our data rod, does it?
Which one are you looking for specifically?
The depositor
Who
records.
deposited the Eulogia?
Oh, that would be privileged information. That would be
Yes.
like asking somebody who.
Like asking like someone like Darium to have all of the information on
Yeah.
someone who deposited it.
On the
Yeah.
actual thing that we're looking for
Well, yeah.
for him.
Does it
Yeah.
just have a location for the where
Yes.
she's being held?
It shows where she's being held. She's actually being held towards the back of the facility in the maximum like secure areas. There's about according to this, there's about 6 vaults towards the back that are behind redundant security systems.
And once we're on the planet, I can do
Redundant how?
half an hour of reconnaissance.
It doesn't
Throughout the
really
facility.
specify. But again, it looks from the blueprints. It looks like once you're inside the vault, the security is not that it's not that impressive. It might be that they have a lot of tech security in there. It might be something as simple as she's behind 3 doors. But from the looks of it, especially since the fact that Cillian has been able to identify weaknesses in the lighting fixtures, it's entirely possible that the Hoki just don't think anyone can get in, and so they probably skimped a little bit on the incredible security that they have surrounding the facility.
Is there anything in the about procedures of like? I'm not sure if this would be in a blueprint, but sort of if you go to deposit something,
Yeah.
do they expect you to hand it over in the office and then they take it down,
That's what
or
I
do they
really
walk with
hoped.
you down to show you?
So from your experience, I would say that you would probably expect to be, if you were like coming to find out if they're, for example, if you were coming to be told that their facilities are, if you were looking to deposit something here, but you wanted proof that it would be safe,
Right.
you would probably be given a tour, but it's very unlikely you'd be taken inside the vault. If you were to make a deposit, they would probably take it from you and take it down for
Right.
you. Yeah.
I mean, the other option is to intentionally spring the trap and have that be the distraction. But that's probably the least safe option.
Zeep,
Send the TARDIS without any of us in it and stand outside the front door?
Zeep says, it's entirely possible that if this thing can teleport us to the center of a planet, it means that it's got a few thousand kilometers of distance on it at the very least. Why don't we point the teleporter somewhere else? I mean, when we want it to leave.
I mean,
We
we would want to take control of it anyway, so they couldn't lock us in.
Which they would try to do,
Yes.
for sure.
That's probably one of their most intentional security systems.
If we send all the vortex manipulators a bunch of different places, they might look for all of those different signals and send them scattered. We have
a
like
good idea.
3 of them now.
But if we use the vortex manipulators, doesn't that also
It's
send up
four,
a
I
flare
think.
gun to the TGs? Like if we're using
But they know we're coming there anyway.
oh, do they?
Yep.
Oh.
It's a trap.
It's a very trap.
Hmm.
So wait, Rassilon knows we're going to this place?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing is
Oh,
we need
man.
both. We need you and Cillian, if possible, to get into the vault, because the tears we found, each one is bigger and bigger. So I'm guessing this one might be the biggest of all, especially if it's the only one left.
And we do probably want to hurry, as it's probably trying to eat the planet right now.
Maybe we'll eat the TGs.
Maybe leave the Eulogia.
Mm.
Or the whole universe.
I like that less.
Oh,
Yeah,
it doesn't
not good.
discriminate. We should all aspire to be this rip in space time.
Consume all.
Right.
Right, well then we have to prepare that the closer we get inside a vault with lots of labyrinthy and tech that we have to get through, the closer we get to the tear, probably not going to make much sense.
No.
Right, so if we were to land ourselves outside, send the TARDIS to the heart of it, and then all sort of bluster in, possibly with the aid of a security guard shouting that there's an emergency, how distracted do we think they'd be?
Very.
Do you think River would be up to piloting the TARDIS?
Into a trap? Well, she probably would be.
She'd probably think it's fun.
She would, knowing her.
It does put us on a bit of a time crunch, because once the trap is sort of
We'll have to move quickly.
very quickly.
do we know what to expect when we get in there, or are we going to be just sort of flying blind, as it were?
I'll be able to
We'll be
take a look
flying
once we're on
3
the
months
planet.
ago. To my experience, is usually not a great thing, but we don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, they probably haven't changed the light bulbs though.
Those are always the last things to be taken care of.
That's my angle.
Yeah.
Everyone came up with these wicked characters, and I love that you're just like, I'm an electrician from London.
Perfect.
It is
I
absolutely
do like that your
totally Doctor Who.
catchphrase is, I am an electrician after all.
Stand back. I'm an
I've
electrician.
seen some shit.
It's both. It's both.
Don't mess with me, man. I'm
Is
a
it-
lawyer.
Is there anything in the data that we have about psychic defenses
Right.
for the people who work? there?
You want to dig deeper into the
Yes.
security? Okay.
Good call.
So I would
You
say
take
make
whatever.
a ingenuity. This I'll let you do. Actually, you know, if you've got science, this would be a good ingenuity science roll, because this is not blatantly obvious on the schematics.
16.
16. Oh yeah, you see a lot of tech inside the blueprints to the vaults that could easily be used as it looks like. First of all, it looks like the technology they're using technology that would keep something from teleporting in, obviously, which would. It's possible that would fall within the confine. That it's possible that would apply to the TARDIS. It's very likely that it does. The TARDIS
That's
slips.
like level 7.
Yeah, the TARDIS slips in and out of the time vortex, which means the TARDIS literally leaves reality through the time vortex and reappears. So it shouldn't be kept out, but there's tech in there that suggests that it might be. That being said, there's also tech in there that looks like it could be hazardous to people trying to use not just psychic potential, but any other kind of biological, supernatural power or anything. You know
Would
what I
that
mean?
include shapeshifting?
It's possible, yes. It looks like this uses. It looks like there's a frequency that's constantly being broadcast on the inside of this thing. You don't have the specs exactly what it does, but just from that roll, it's entirely possible that it could run interference on a number of things. It could stop psychic potential. It could stop shapeshifting. It could stop invisibility, teleportation. Who knows? It looks like it. It looks like, it, for the lack of a better way of describing it, it looks like it might be an anti-magic shell.
But
So
you
we'll
said
disable that first.
Blasting our way in was entirely possible, is what you said earlier.
If you were to use the gun, yes. But now that Jody's rolled well on what she was looking into the schematics, it's possible that, yeah, that's might be why the walls would be easy to shoot through, because it's very likely you wouldn't be able to shoot anything once you're inside, unless this thing was disabled.
But we could shoot our way in and then work on the tech.
Yeah, that looks very feasible. You could blast your way into this thing, and then once you're inside, then things get hairy.
Is there like a tech control room on the schematics?
It looks like there's not a inside the vault. It doesn't look like there is one, but there's a lot of, I would say, centers outside the vault that hint that there might be multiple redundant tech control centers.
And those aren't under
They're
the
not-
bubble, as it were.
No, they're not under the bubble. Think of it like it's that annoying Star Warsy, the shield generator outside the shield kind of thing, or like
Yeah.
the shield generator just on the inside of the shield. So you can actually vape it from. If you were to take out these control centers, you could. If you were to vape them, then you could vaporize. If you were to destroy,
Okay, I
annihilate.
think that's
If you were to get high as fuck and then go into these control centers.
Well, that's how the doctor and I ended up inside the Bank Vault of London. We got very drunk and woke up there. So that's a plan we haven't actually considered yet.
Into this place.
Wait, how do you do that?
Oh.
What
Let me show you, Rocco. Zeeps just pulls out. No.
Yeah, what does he pull out?
Mm,
Does he pull out a plant
he just pulls out a
and
bunch.
burn it?
No, trust
And
me.
then inhale the smoke from the burnt. Yeah.
Everyone watches,
she's
as
gonna-
Rocco watches in
Rocco's gonna
horror.
love that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Rocco, if you're not going to be able to use most of your abilities, at least at the start, you still might be best served as being our cargo to get in the door.
I do.
And then we would have a good excuse to see exactly what their security levels are, because, you know, a being as rare and powerful as you, we wouldn't want to
Actually, yeah.
cause trouble or escape.
All right, I am terribly threatening. Rawr.
Yep, it's going well.
So, and if we happen to be inside when there is an attack from the outside, Velig and his weapon, I mean, there would be a lot of chaos happening, and we would already be.
If it happened at the same time that the trap inside went off, and we, all right, 3 prongs perhaps.
Yes.
What was the plan? It's changed a lot.
Good man.
Yes.
We're thinking maybe all the plans at once.
Right. Okay.
So just
I'm
really
into that.
split the group into lots of bits.
Don't.
We're
love
splitting the
that
party.
idea.
Just making sure that I've
Indeed,
got that
as every
right.
heist does. Although we are not robbing a bank.
So we have River and the TARDIS.
It's okay. You can say it. We're in the TARDIS now.
Oh, all right.
Just not outside.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So, I shall be in charge of boom boom distractions.
Right.
Along with River and the TARDIS.
So
I've got a force field. I don't know if that
that'll be
can
useful if it
useful.
comes down to it, but
Not just for blasting, but like maybe shielding.
Good man.
Tech radiation.
Rolling the TARDISes. As y'all are conversing, suddenly Zeep pipes up and goes, right there, right there, right there. Starts tapping on the
What's that?
on the console.
What did you find, Zeeps?
Look, right here. Look.
What,
follow
behind the
wire.
jam?
If you. Oh, that is jam. And he kind of
Yes.
Well, never mind.
right here.
Oh.
Right here. Right here. Look, if you notice, there's one. You'll know what I'm talking about. There's one. It looks like here. Look, you'll see what I'm talking about. And he taps on it, and you see he's pointing at what looks like a cable out, like a large cable, possibly an access tube of some kind, way too small to crawl through. But you notice that it's one, and it's connecting. This one cable branches out and connects to 3 different spots.
You know, this was actually what the same thing I was
You were thinking?
working on in my head.
Yeah. So the moment
Trunk one.
Zeeps taps on it, you realize what he's getting at.
Yeah.
This cable actually kind of gives away 3 commands, like control centers. Instantly, there's 3 of them, and you see him trying to put into words what he doesn't look like he knows exactly how to explain it, and he's like, there's one. So if it's running to the 3, do you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah. It could grant you access to all 3 through this one point. You could also use it to overload everything.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
and also tells us exactly that there are in fact commands. I mean, theoretically, we would need to confirm it, but it looks like that these are important spots because it's singled these 3 areas out, and this cable runs to the teleportation unit. Look, let me point.
fantastic.
All right. So, team trunk line, team
Trap
team
Yeah.
trap, and
Zeeps is out of storage
Team
box.
walking in the front door.
Aw.
and team possible outside distraction simultaneously.
Yes.
I'd like to know you were quite safe.
Team,
I think none of this is safe, but I think there's
Team
nothing.
The
V.
entire
I
universe
should call
isn't
it.
safe
Yeah.
right now, Doctor.
Team
I
V.
thought
Team.
Velig
Oh yes, Team
was
V
going
for
to
Velig.
drop
V
in
for
roll
Velig.
call
Yeah, and also Victory
as a-
and Vam
Maybe
if
some
you
of the
misspelled
rest of
jam.
us might
Yes.
be-
Oh.
Sorry.
If you misspelled jam.
Velig
Vam,
is
if you
going
misspelled
to
jam,
cause
that's
trouble
your jam
outside.
by Velig.
Indeed.
The trap is if River teleports
Just in the center.
inside, Rassilon
Rassilon hasn't alerted the planet to our identities or faces or nothing.
This is an excellent question. Do we have any idea whether Rassilon has left our faces with the front desk of the planet?
That is a good
Why don't we
question.
Google it?
We it's this information
Am I
century.
wanted by the law?
very much out of date. I mean, this
I mean,
guy.
there are databases that do just that. I
God, I
imagine
said
we're
that
on
Google
it.
myself.
Do we know if the Corsair's new face is?
Right?
That's
Yeah.
that. Yes, I was.
yeah.
I was at the TG base for a while before
Yeah,
you came
you
in,
were.
even in this form.
Even in that form?
Yes, they just couldn't really kill me yet.
I suppose Velig is the
Couple
only one who
days.
isn't known.
Well, we might need you not to blast everything.
Very well.
Not so sure.
Is that a vein popping out of your neck? That's it.
Vain. Team V for vain as well. Something that I am not.
Roko, you are on most of those lists.
And I'm very dangerous, and so they need to put me in a vault.
Indeed. So perhaps my plan might work in that I am here to deliver you, very dangerous Ra, as has been established, to a vault.
Yes. I mean, no, anything but the vault.
Indeed.
So good.
It's a
Christian.
good
It'll
plan.
be so good.
As the doctor once said, allons-y. There is only one thing to do, and it is to do it. We stand up to bullies, We hold out our hand and we teach them a different way of thinking.
I don't remember saying any of that. Fantastic.
It does sound like something you'd say, though.
And Aussie for sure.
Yes.
Shall we away?
I don't think we're quite ready
Oh.
to actually go.
So,
So Velik walks in with Roko to deposit them in a vault.
Yes.
Very sorry.
Well, the nearer I am, maybe I can convince the guards inside that they need to let the Eulokia out, let me out.
Do you think you can?
I'm very convincing.
And frightening,
Yes, terribly frightening.
as has been established.
Maybe
Right.
not try any psychic until there's been confirmation that we've taken down any sort of anti-psychic technology.
Right, we run the team trunk line first.
Right.
They take out the tech. We send our team in. We do things in there, and then we send team trap. So I don't think we want to set off the trap until we can actually do things inside of the vault, and the trunk line has to be down for that first. Not
If we
that
don't have to set the trap out at all, that would actually be rather good.
that would be. I
then we
just
just
don't
run
know.
into it
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
Use that as a backup distraction.
Backup distraction?
Maybe distribute the armbands a bit, so we all at least have one possible escape sort of solution.
Well, I still have one.
Right, but you took mine, remember?
Yes, and that was put on the Weeping Angel, remember?
There's
The
still
one
one
after.
left.
That was the one.
No, remember I handed you the ones to
This one's
sweep
from the
for the
mas-
master. I handed you mine, my extras.
I took one of them, and that ended up on the Weeping
You-
Angel.
All of
The other
mine.
one was on the.
Why doesn't anyone remember this?
Total inventory.
The other
of
one
the
I left
party,
on the
2
table.
vortex manipulators remaining.
There was one left on the table. I wasn't going to take them all. I only took one. That one was used to teleport out the Weeping Angel. This one I got out of the Master's bag.
All right, we're getting bogged down.
Yep.
I gotta rewatch this because I remember being like, check them all, and then,
I did. I checked them all, and then I took one.
but then what
Team
happened to
TARDIS
the
doesn't
rest?
need one. The other 2 teams.
Never
need
mind, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I've got one. You've got one. We don't have any more.
Right. Velik, please take this.
What is it?
It is an emergency teleportation device. It's vortex manipulator. Be very careful. I would give it to you, but they'd probably confiscate it from the person they're locking up in a vault.
Reasonable assumption.
So-
very, very quickly,
Yes.
Zips, what's the deal with this teleportation unit thing?
I-
What is that?
I think what it does is it's a site to site, just sort of takes you. Right now, I can't tell from just looking at it, but I think it's one way, and then the other. Well, I just from looking at it, it looks like it's not connected to the site inside the core, meaning it's just a one way.
Right, a one-way once undetermined. Just plug it in.
It's This is why I was thinking that maybe we could use it to teleport somewhere else if we needed to. I don't know where else we would need to go, but it looks like one of the systems that they have in place. It's not it doesn't look like it's interlocked with the other teleportation device inside. So it thinks it's a one-way teleport, and the other one thinks it's a one-way teleport, even
Right.
though it's a round trip. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
The
completely.
second one is the one we
No,
made.
no.
Yes.
The one that's inside will be our key to getting out, but the one on the way in, we need to function pretty much as normal.
Ideally, we'll have control of both.
Yep, that would be a plus. So, Cillian, I think the rest of us are with you, but how can we physically access this point where the 3 of them depart from the one trunk line?
From within the vault, right? That's the idea.
That's outside
These
the-
3 command centers are located outside the vault,
Right.
in the bank complex, so to speak.
Okay.
Headquarters,
Yeah.
whatever.
So we've got
So-
to get to that somehow.
Yeah, and those are probably going to be guarded.
Right.
Right, but that is a place that I can safely scry to reconnoiter.
Probably. You don't see any of the technology outside this vault.
We can park pretty far away and just see how close I can get.
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause you have a
I'm
quite
good
a
for the whole
whole
planet,
planet,
and I'm good for
yes.
half an hour per story point.
All right.
Rocco is slowly becoming an amazingly powerful psychic.
Slowly.
Hey,
I'm facing off against a bunch of scary people. I really better,
shooting enthusiasts Can you could you maybe take down the guards who are guarding these?
Oh yes, that's fine.
And is that okay with the doctor?
Well, we're going to try not to kill any of them, I think.
Well,
but
yes, stun setting.
What if we merely incapacitated them
Sure, of course.
temporarily?
Actually, do our blasters have stun settings?
Spin the story point.
Where did you get that? Where did you get
I
that?
have 2 Gallifreyan pistols. I have the Centauran pistol gun.
The Centauran does not have stun setting.
I figured that one does, but the Gallifreyan ones might.
Let's let Chance decide, because there are some, like, for example, so the TGs, their guns do not have stun settings.
Yeah.
If it's a gun of, like, a member of the Presidential Guard, it does not have a stun setting. So,
If you throw it at them, that might be a stun setting.
yes, they have stun settings.
Okay.
Those particular pistols do have stun settings.
My laser
it's
pistol.
And
is
also,
from
I'm
Wales.
fine for swordplay
It
too,
does
which
not have
is
stun setting.
No.
Right.
It's an old school,
I'm
straight up.
While I am quite concerned about preserving the lives of the people we might encounter, I'm also very concerned about them not raising the alarm before we want them to. So if
Right.
there's a way to sneak towards the trunk line, I'd rather prefer it to the knock everybody out plan.
I mean, that's sort of what I do. So
I think. And what about you, Finn? Could you aid in this part, sneaking up on some guards and shooting but not killing?
Shooting and not killing, absolutely not. But I do have a very heavy arm that I can sort of just hit someone over the head with, I suppose.
Fantastic, old-fashioned.
Okay.
Now I know the guard rotations won't be accurate in our schematics, but what general idea would they, like if it were 3 months ago and we were trying to get to the trunk line, what would we encounter?
the scheduling might not
Hack
change.
HR. Go and hack their HR website and see what their pay stubs look like. Those will be accurate. Well, they'll be inaccurate, but
Yeah.
overall.
If you wanted to pull something like that, it would be story points. Because my initial instinct is to rule that there's no way they're going to let. There's no way it would be accessible that you would know a guard rotation through pay stubs. But with the correct expenditure of story points, you could find some other creative loophole to go the route that Sam is suggesting. Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's
Silly
do
time card shenanigans.
Maybe
Okay.
we could just watch their their footage, like CCTV footage.
What's
when
the message
check
board where they
guards
get each other to
change?
cover each other's shifts?
Well, you're not going to be hacking it from here. So
Okay.
you're gonna you are a few billion light years away from the
I
planet.
did
right
also
now.
mean what
Oh,
will we
right,
literally
right.
encounter,
We're still not even
a
on the
series of
planet.
hallways that lead to the junction we want that are possibly guarded. Like that's what I mean. Like literally, what will we encounter if we try to find the point he's looking for?
Okay.
It's very vague about the guard rotations and whatnot.
Okay, but like building-wise,
What,
is it a series of hallways?
Yeah, there's a lot of hallways. I mean,
Okay.
it's just I'm picturing it in my head I'm picturing it as like walking into the front door of Gringotts. Like it's kind of it's very secure, very large, and there's plenty of corridors and hallways located
Is
all
it
over this place.
Long.
70
Oh,
layers
yeah.
in? Is it 2 layers in? Is it conveniently located alongside one wall? Can I spend story points?
It's located towards the center of the complex, and
Okay.
you can always spend story points.
Okay.
But it looks like it's located. At least their building, their planning of this bank looks like at least they were smart enough to keep it away from walls. It looks like the teleportation device is located a few levels underneath the bank in the center.
Okay, teleportation level is devices down there, and that's pretty
Cool.
immediately connected to the point that he's looking for that branches out to the 3 control centers.
Well, the 3 control centers look like they're sporadically put throughout the base. So there's one
Right.
on one level. There's total of 3 levels to the bank, and there's control center on the top floor, and then there's 2 on the bottom floor.
And all those are connected by that one cable we're
It
trying.
looks like that one cable's running throughout all of that. Yeah.
But the junction where it goes from 1 to 3 is on that 3rd
It's
level with the
inside of a
teleportation
wall.
device?
It's inside of a wall between the second and bottom floor.
Between
Or
the
I'm sorry,
second-
between the first floor and the underground floor.
Between the first floor and the underground floor.
Yes.
And the
Because think of it like
teleport is
this:
on the
the
3rd.
cable feeds up, and then it travels along the wall to the 3rd junction office. You're looking for the junction point where it branches out.
Yes.
Okay,
That's in a
so
wall.
inside sort of the floor ceiling area is where it's branching out to the other 2 command centers, and then it runs a length up into the 3rd command center.
So the branch is
3rd
between the
junction
2nd
point.
and 3rd level, or the 1st
So
and 2nd level?
basement, floor level, second level.
Oh boy. Wait, hold on. You
wish
you
I
walk
had
in
an
and
actual
things go
schematic.
down,
No.
or you walk in
So
and
here's the
things go
floor
up?
level where you're walking in,
You walk
and
in.
this is the underground area where there's a teleportation that'll take you to where you need to go. There are also theoretically the 2 command or like special spots that you're looking for down here. So that's the basement level.
One level below walking in.
That's right, the
Okay.
basement, the third level or the bottom level basically.
Okay.
Then above is the second floor. Up here is where the other piece of the junction goes,
final-
and yes, there's a command spot upstairs.
So the point where
You're talking about finding the junction spot where this cable supposedly branches off and connects everything.
the one Zeeps and Cillian are talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is located underneath the floor of the one you walk in.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you walk in, and there's the junction point branches out and connects the other 2 spots. It's a glaring weakness that apparently they missed.
But it's essentially accessible if we're going through the front door. Or it's that's the level.
If you go
It's
through
at
the front door and drill through the floor, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe a large, massive.
this is
Or or if you go to the bottom level and drill through the ceiling, basically, yes.
Yeah.
I do
any
a-
side exits on that bottom floor?
On the very bottom floor, there are no exits except for up and down.
Okay.
There is one area that leads. It looks like the entry point is in a secured area, so it's almost like entering the vault is entering the staircase to go to the bottom floor. Do you know what I mean? So like the moment you decide to access the teleportation, you've stepped into the first stage of security of the vault.
Right. So between the lobby and teleport level.
Correct.
there's Your first
There is
layer
your
of
first
real
stage
security.
of security.
Right.
Here's where we're going to be playing some licensed music that we don't have the rights for. So just turn on your favorite Ocean's 11 thing.
Okay.
Mission Improbable.
A weird
Yeah.
thing about it's when you say that the junction is. I'm sorry, I'm
That's
joking
okay.
on this, but this
Keep
junction
in
is
mind, so it's always
That's
gonna
what
be
you
clear.
need on a heist.
Yeah.
You need to
level
plan.
to 3 things. When you say it's in the floor, is it like, let's say, in the center of a floor in an office building, or in the floor beneath a supply closet on a side hallway?
It looks like it's the center of the floor of the entire facility, so located directly above the teleportation device, which is at the core center of the entire building.
Okay. What's above it, literally?
Literally above it are people walking
Someone's desk,
to get.
or
No, it looks like it's the center of the building, like very center. So the junction spot, like if you're walking in to walk up to the teller's desk and you have to cross 100 feet to get from the door to the teller's desk,
so the main
you're
floor
gonna
is one
you're
large
gonna walk
open
over
room,
it. Yes,
mostly? Okay.
again, I imagine Gringotts where you're walking in and you're seeing tellers aligning the walls and security all over the place.
So if you wanted to physically access the trunk thing from the top, everyone in a giant room is looking at you.
yeah,
So we
Okay.
have to come at it from below, basically. We have to.
but to get below, you're gonna have to deactivate probably the 3 command centers. And
Yeah.
to deactivate
So
the
we
3
can't-
command
we
centers,
can't-
You need to.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
What's that?
Which are upstairs.
There's one upstairs.
There's one upstairs.
And
Well-
the other 2
Down
are
on the
down in the
teleport
vault.
level.
Well, I mean, that's what this thing does. We can't exactly deactivate the command centers in order for us to deactivate the command centers. It doesn't.
Right, that's
Right.
I mean, we could, but then you're getting very timey-wimey, and that's probably not a good idea.
not that close
Right
to a
now.
paradox.
Not that close to a paradox.
Yeah. It's the other problem. Everything that
I'm
changes while we're in there.
paradox, apparently. So,
Yeah.
you know, we're always close to a paradox.
I suppose we could put you in a vault. We've got a man from another dimension.
I was going
I
to
kind
s-
of
quite
expected to end up in one at some point in my life.
You're
so
like,
let's do
if it was gonna be if I was being arrested by a Bobby or being thrown into an alien jail, it was gonna happen at some
it.
point.
Yeah.
That's actually not
I
the
mean, you
worst
found me in a car park.
What are you doing, by the way?
If I remember correctly, you had just gotten shit faced.
Yes, exactly.
Doctor, that's
I was
actually
doing nothing at all.
Right.
it's not the
I think
worst.
you could learn from this one.
It's not the worst idea to have him be the prize to go into the vault, because that could do a lot to fix the tear just without us doing anything.
I don't
Oh,
wanna
I
send him
was
into a trap
always
by
going
himself.
into the vault.
Yeah.
But with you, right?
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
It might be a bit tough to explain to them that he's from another dimension without explaining. Also, hello, I'm the doctor. I'm probably on a wanted list. Right.
Have you ever seen The Last Starfighter? They're not dead. I prefer to think of them as battling evil in another dimension. In another dimension. Sorry.
Oh, that's probably what your loved ones are thinking about you back home right now.
Oh, wow, Amy.
What?
Sorry.
That was Amy. You said a Jody
On
thing.
this show, you just had to throw that in too. All right.
Probably not, Doctor.
I wasn't even the one that
That's
said
even
that.
worse.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
You got somebody here who's very happy to see you, though.
Yeah.
Of course, he's
Exactly.
having to explain to his mother that the giant potato-looking creature was just a dream, and
Very, very sexy dream.
a very sexy dream.
Doctor, all my loved ones are in this universe, and most of them are right here.
Oh.
Have my other donation point for feels.
All right.
And actually, I'm going to give Amy a point for drilling so deep into
Right,
like
yeah.
the stats of the building.
I don't know how it helps us.
But have a story point.
Well, I understand what's going on.
Do
now,
other
so.
people, like other species, live on this planet besides the Hopi?
It looks like it gets a lot of traffic.
Okay.
So, because it looks like a lot of people probably come through here and who are really impressed with that advertisement, and come here to store their things.
They have contractors for their little tiny locks, yes?
It appears so.
I wonder if they contract out their electrics. That someone might need to come in and repair a trunk line.
Now that's an idea.
Yes, it is.
This might call for an
An
electrician.
Oh, I'm already picturing Cillian with a cape on.
What's it say in the specs about the contractors?
It doesn't have any information on the contractors, but that conceivably is something that may not be protected from prying eyes in the world of I'm going to break into computer systems. Yeah.
Got any workman's gear in this thing?
I think we might have.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Move down to the TARDIS.
Roka's
Let's
really about just
assume
sending
I've
people in
done
under false
that
pretenses
now.
today.
Okay.
I've changed into.
Not a lot of other options.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
They just involve
So I look like whatever an electrician would look like in this part of the galaxy, which I assume is not that different from what it would look like on Earth.
It looks
but-
exactly the same in every part of the galaxy
Yeah.
every time.
Remarkable, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of consistency there.
All right.
So we go in,
And Zeet as well. Yeah?
if possible, we have a fake client, a fake
Quite good
electrician.
at tech.
I'm not a fake
You know,
electrician.
I know,
A fake space electrician.
a fake contractor.
There really isn't
I've
a
got some
contract.
psychic paper, so you've been ordered to be here.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
Ah.
And
Perfect.
here's
That was
my
brilliant.
here's my name tag, my credentials. Yeah.
Do I have
Rar.
terrifying? Yes, good. Keep that up. Yes. Terrifying space treasure. You'll probably want to work out with Velig in advance what your names are, etc.
Would you like? No,
mean,
you
I'm just
probably
me.
want me to.
Are we
If you're all
terrible
right with that.
criminal scary Roka?
Right. Do we think that this bank has some sort of criminal extradition policy with Gallifrey by any chance? You are a member of the Resistance, and I'd really rather than put you in the vault than, say, turn you over to the TGs.
Are you asking me? Or
One of us is gonna roll for that.
okay.
I would
Who has
guess
armor?
that.
So you're trying to find out if this bank is going to call the authorities
Oh,
upon
no,
sight of you?
alien cultists
Yeah,
would do
because
that, huh?
we're
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Is
We have
this
the
like a
wanted
cool
trait.
Swiss bank where they're like, put your criminal shit
It's a
here?
cool
we'll
Swiss
see
bank.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you now.
I think.
Yeah.
I
It's a
think.
cool Swiss bank.
If any of their clients got word that they had an extradition policy with the species that is currently causing devastation across the galaxy, I think they would lose most of their business. So I think we're safe on that.
Excellent.
Which means that whatever trap the Gallifreyans have laid, the bank might not know about it.
That's true. I don't know if they'd be working with them.
So if the trap is triggered, we could easily turn the bank's security quite possibly on the TGs.
That is an excellent idea.
Yes.
Right.
Actually, if we made it look like Gallifreyans were attempting to breach the bank and then a whole bunch of
Which they are.
Gallifreyans showed up, I mean, that's about as good a distraction as you can hope for.
This is why you
Story
stopped a lot
point.
of banks, isn't it?
All about the
Yes.
story points
I'm
today.
just not
Y'all
used
gonna
to
need
doing it with a large group of people, which is making this a bit challenging. But
All right.
Right. And if our client is in the building when all that goes down, and our electrician is in place, I don't see
We
them
can't-
just agreeing to let us pop down and help corral the intruders, but there will be a lot of confusion.
The TGs aren't exactly subtle.
They are definitely not subtle creatures, no.
They're the opposite of subtle.
They are the Diet Coke of subtle. Sorry. Doc. Don't know.
Right, so the rest of us will need disguises, I suppose?
Yes, especially
I mean,
those of us wanted by.
The entire
Yes.
galaxy.
Well, which galaxy are you stepping into, really?
That's the thing.
The entire universe.
Universe.
Yes.
Which is rather large.
Well, let's see what disguises we can find in that lovely closet of yours.
should the rest of us be Velig's
Entourage.
coterie? Yeah.
I could possibly be your social coordinator, talky person, if that helps.
What I'm wondering is if the Corsair actually walked in there, they've probably been expecting you to open an account there for some time.
That is true. Yes,
So
and
we all go in as different customers. What valuables you got on this ship that we can sort of store?
I know I've stashed
We
some things
all
here.
know that this is going to fall apart the moment the game starts. We all know that,
Yes.
right? You guys?
Yes.
That's
need
why
to
you
have
a
plan in
plan.
advance.
We all
So you
know
have
this is gonna
8
go
plans
straight
to
to
fall
hell.
back on.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It is a bit suspicious if all the new clients arrive at the same time, but they are a
I
bank that
imagine
rather
they have
closely.
several new clients enter in a day.
All right. So here's what we could do.
It's a bloody
Velig.
big universe, Doctor. There's a lot of
That's
life
true.
forms in it.
And Velig might need an
They all need
assistant
bank
to
accounts.
Or Velig could be working for me. I mean, no one knows you're the first librarian of the TARDIS yet. So.
No, I have a clever disguise. Commander Peleg.
Nice. Very good.
Well, there actually is a Commander Peleg. I will be him since we are clone mates. No one would know.
Oh, right. Well done. So, Corsair and Velig have captured the last living Ovakali and wish to put them in the vault.
Right? So what are you and I doing, Doctor?
Going out for a drink. Let us know how it goes.
So that's my job. Could you all be the electrician staff along with
I'm not sure
Cillian?
they'll let 5 of us or 4 of us. in
3.
there.
That would be
It's a
3.
top
Are we
line.
taking Zeeps?
Oh, Zeeps, yes.
You want me
Sorry,
to
Zeeps.
coordinate? I can try to coordinate. I mean, some of you still have implants, right? I could just talk through them.
Mine's been fried.
Oh.
Maybe you could
right.
make something up, Doctor.
You
Yeah,
know
I think we'd
what?
better.
Considering how easily they've been hacked, maybe it's a good idea we don't use them.
Yes, and
Yeah.
the security might pick up something like that anyway.
Although I'd like to rig up some way to talk to each other. So we will work on
Well,
that.
we
As
do
long as
have
we
a Roku.
speak in code.
Well, yes, but
Right,
not
but
until the
take
camp
it.
line's down.
As long as we're
That's
still
right.
saying head over to control center B, open in the panel, fiddling with the wires,
So,
getting it to work.
Zeeps could go with
As long as the
Cillian, but that
chatter
still leaves
is
you and
suspicious.
Finn.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've got plenty of treasures in here. You want to come make a deposit at a bank?
You could easily be
Right.
her security.
You're very fierce looking all by yourself.
You're her security,
even
you're
need to
my
say that.
security. Slash
This is raw for me.
Right, 2
Santorin.
clients and
I'd
an electrician. River available as distraction. We try to talk our way in, and then at a certain time, River sets up the trap.
Right.
Everyone upstairs panics about incoming TGs, ideally.
Yes.
You cut the control center lines. We get down to the teleport.
Zeep says, sorry, should River be here for this?
We might want to check with her.
Yes. I'm just going to run down to River's room really quickly. Hey, I want to help rob a bank.
Hey, you want to rob it? It's an empty room.
Oh.
As
Oh.
soon as you throw open the door.
River, are you hiding from the Weeping Angels again?
Not funny. A bit funny, but also not.
I'm going to run a scan to see where she went.
She in the
She's not on
pool
board
with
the
meat
TARDIS.
stick.
Oh, goodness.
What?
Do you all
Oh,
remember
meat.
River's song?
Yeah, do we
Yes.
remember?
Zeep goes, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Hmm.
Has
They-
she left a message?
Yes, there is a note inside of her room.
Oh yes, I found this note that I forgot to mention before.
I'm guessing you did more than just peek in, scan, and then shut the door.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you would have
Eric
found a
doesn't
note.
want to do that many NPCs.
Yeah. Doing a canonized, doing an iconic NPC is tough. Doing an iconic
Tell me how hard
NPC.
it is to be the wonderful characters from Doctor Who.
I don't have the luxury of regenerating into my own version of River Song. I have to play River Song.
No, fair point.
Okay, but there is a note, and it's frustratingly typical River. It just says, "So sorry, be right back." Is literally all it's written.
Has she kissed it with a little lipstick mark?
No, but it does have a heart.
Right.
Right.
Is there a way you can program this? Sort of respond to your sonnet?
That's my initial idea. TARDIS, how do you feel about that? I'm going to run up and sort of look into how many story points do I need to see if I can set the TARDIS to teleport itself into a trap but stay locked.
You could. That's not. You wouldn't have to burn story points for that. It's just a matter of whether or not you can get the TARDIS in there. Once that, if there is a field that's blocking the TARDIS, once that's deactivated, it's totally conceivable that the TARDIS could just get in there and get you guys out. But that'll.
So we cut it first, send the TARDIS in, spring the trap so that hopefully they think all of the disruptions are related to the TGs suddenly appearing in their bank vault, and then we go in.
Sounds like almost a plan.
Right.
All right.
Do I need to do that remotely from some other location, or can I set it all in the TARDIS to sort of? So that
You
I
can set that in the TARDIS.
Set it in the TARDIS so that at a
TARDIS,
certain time I can
yeah.
sonic and just send it.
Yes, the Doctor has done that many times. You could totally pull that off. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Before the whole river piloting it plan, my plan was just send the TARDIS.
Right. Yeah.
I thought
Well,
she might get a kick out
the
of it.
once in future plan.
She's gonna be so mad she missed robbing a bank.
Well, maybe she should stick around a little more.
Y'all know the Doctor enough to know that there's actually a twinge of genuine sort of lover's quarrel irritation.
Yeah. Yeah, we know the sounds.
Just hope she didn't go after the master on her
Yeah,
own.
Finn and Roko are just like, yes. All right.
Like I said, better be over collie again.
Are we ready to go?
I think
kind
we
of
are.
So,
Yeah.
A mammal. I like you better with your other face. Oh, hey, that got the gem off.
Can we assume the rest of us like went and changed and cleaned up
Yeah.
also?
Yeah.
if you're gonna go undercover, yes, you unjam yourselves.
We
Although
unjam.
to Velig's credit, it is actually quite good.
Yeah.
Good. So here's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna find out if our illustrious tech people are down for this. But I'm thinking because it's gonna be a big final arc of this game, let's go on our break right now. It's
Okay.
1:36. Yeah. All right. Cool. So we're gonna go on our break right now. That way we can just go straight on through, and let's try to keep the break somewhat short. So let's just rush and grab our stuff, and then we'll be right back for the heist. All right. So we'll be right back. Oh, we do it now. We'll do it now. Sorry, doing the Wayne's World thing. Welcome back. All right, we're back from our break. It was fun to see Hector and Darren reunite backstage there for a second.
Oh, yeah.
We were on a Geek Streak there for a few seconds.
Yes, that's my podium from Geek Streak that you are sitting at.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Place of honor. Is Hector still here? Is he still on stage? Damn.
Nice.
All right.
He waved at us earlier, so we had to.
Oh, that's who was waving at you. Wow. Okay. So we're about to jump back in. Real quick, though, I wanted to do a shout out to one of our fans because I meant to do this a while back, but I just want to congratulate one of our viewers, Az, in Discord, who got their degree, who finished their degree program. I didn't even think to ask. I didn't even think to ask them.
Congratulations, Az!
Yes, good job.
Yes.
Tweet at us and tell us what you did.
Cheers.
And we can congratulate you throughout all the Twitters.
Yes, so congratulations. That was pretty rad. And then they went and got drunk and came on Discord and was incredibly
It was like
charming.
Drunk Rocco. It was
It
the
was
best.
amazing.
And
Az-
Sorry, I don't
Az
want to
is-
shout out that you got drunk.
Az is drunk,
Since I
drunk
don't-
Rocco.
Since I don't know what degree it is, congratulations, Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Big
very
shout out. All right, so
All right.
we have a lot to
All right.
do before the end of this episode, so we're
It's
going
gonna
to launch
go
into
so
it.
well.
Let's
This is
jump
going to
in.
go
Yes, it's going to be
perfectly.
spectacular.
Okay, so you finish your planning stages. Zeeps is very nervous.
Updated plan. One group of clients.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, go ahead and tell the plan, and then tell me what you do, because you guys are still in the TARDIS. So.
All right. Everyone is going in through the lobby. Zeeps and Cillian are going in as electricians to do the electrical thing they're totally contracted to do. Yep, totally contracted. Rest of the party coming in to turn in Big Scary Rocco. Rawr.
So you and me business partners then?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a business confederacy, a business venture.
Three
and
business people wearing weird masks. We've decided we are Avlorians.
Avlorians.
Very good poll. We are Avlorians. We wear masks. It's a cultural
Ceremonial
thing. We're not gonna
robes.
take them off. Ceremonial robes, masks, security, prisoner. We'd like to make a deposit.
Yep. Electricians go downstairs, disable the trunk line. We're going to,
Downstairs,
Try.
meaning the floor.
yeah, whatever the thing
Just
is.
clarifying for the
They
audience.
go to the place to do
Yep.
that.
And
We're going to.
what,
And then-
what happens to the office upstairs?
We're going to try to sign depositor papers in the office.
Ah, gotcha. All right.
And yeah.
Once the line is down, we send the TARDIS to set the trap off, cause as much distraction as possible, get in, get to the Elokia, then get to the tear, then get out of here. And last minute brilliant addition from Jody, masks for all of us. One more mask.
To put on the Eulogia.
Fully
So
humanoid Eulogia.
All right.
Or just a giant tarp, I don't know.
it'll be like a sheet with two holes. It'll be a Halloween ghost.
So we're going to take the Luca, we're going to put them on our head, and we're just going to wear them out of the place. It's going to be fine.
I mean, that would be an amazing way to escape. Gaze upon us, let us go.
I know it's a controversial show with many moments that would suggest don't watch it for the love of God, but there is a really funny moment in Family Guy where they break Lois out of jail by shoving Lois's head into Peter's mouth, and he just walks out with her just like hanging in his mouth. It is so stupid.
I mean,
someone
that's
else's
actually
problem
not that
field
bad of a
for
plan compared to ours. No, but like we might be able to just walk her out of here because everyone will not be able to stop
Look
us.
at this distraction. She says to let us go. Hopefully.
This is, yeah.
Also, that could be a very good excuse if we don't want to turn over to Dory. It was like she told us to let her go, and
I
we
mean, my plan is
did.
to be like, you're someone's property. Feel free to ignore that statement, but just spoiling my.
All right.
All right.
We have 1 hour, 8 minutes.
Let's do this!
Yes.
All right, synchronize our watches.
So,
Jiggery pokery the thingies. So that we know that the trunk line's
Communication
down.
devices?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so we know the trunk is.
also, if Veleg has a teleportation, he's with us. Do we want to make sure that Zeeps and Cillian
Yep,
have
let's
one
do
of them?
those. You
Yes.
guys get one of
Okay,
those.
you get
Going.
mine.
Yes.
Finally.
You get Velig's teleportation device.
Yeah.
All right, rad. Okay.
You're both human. They don't need to know you from different times.
Zeeps goes, and I'm staying here.
You're going with Cillian. If
I'm
you
going to go with
don't
Cillian.
mind.
No, I think that's great. This is what I do, you know?
Help
You're
him.
gonna
Help
need
him
uniform.
take
gonna
down
need
the
you.
electronic.
Yeah, we can do that.
You got your old gear, right?
Yeah, no, they.
Let's
Always-
get moving.
Y'all let me keep it, so.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll my jiggery pokery to improvise some communication devices for all of us?
Yes,
How do I
you
do
would
that?
need to do that. You would just make. I mean, honestly, this would not be a roll. This would be story points.
Okay.
I would say it's a tiny change.
Oh, it's
so,
Boffin. It's Boffin that gives me jiggery pokery, which is the skill I'm using to do this.
1 story point. is enough. I mean, that's not a huge change in the narrative. I'll just say the Doctor, being
The Doctor
one of the
made
most brilliant
something.
minds in the universe, just fashions up communication devices.
Done.
Does Zeeps have any points?
Zeeps burned all of the rest of his points on finding those command centers.
Oh,
I was having him roll for those.
Can I give him some?
yes. You can reward.
Because he may need
Yeah,
to roll
because there
for
were
things.
what
How many points do you have?
I have 7.
Oh yeah, you can give him some if you want to give him like 2, because you've got your 2 points that you can donate. too.
Yeah.
So does that.
Can I do 3?
Yeah,
Let's do 3.
Okay, cool.
Because Darren role plays so brilliantly and says wonderful things, and so
We're
those
gonna
points
get
are
him
going to
back.
come back to him in
He'll
like
go
5
back.
seconds.
All right, you fill Zeeps with inspiration.
Do you say something to Zeeps?
I do. Zeeps, Zeeps, these are for keeps. Enjoy them, do not weeps. That means cry. When you fly, bye-bye, my guy.
Don't die.
Yay!
I need more donation.
Ah, that was wonderful.
Okay.
One for Darren.
One
for Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
That's right.
All right.
So you take the TARDIS to the planet Gulhoki.
Do we have a place where we get off and go the rest of the way on foot or by
I mean,
public
just outside
transit?
the
There's
bank.
probably a parking lot for this.
Yes,
It's a bank.
park in the parking lot.
All right. The wheezing, grinding sounds of the TARDIS as she travels through space and time, also known as sexy by the Doctor. I love that episode.
So good.
It's such a great episode.
That's where the
It's a lot of
Corsair
fun.
came from.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I suppose actually just outside
So
the,
many.
the parking lot, but in a non-suspicious way, since it is going to vanish at the exact moment we need it to a bit later on.
Wait, where are you parking it?
It's a distraction anyway. At that point,
Okay, fine. Parking lot. Parking lot it is.
I'm totally picturing that scene from Star Trek 4 where they just land the bird of prey in Central Park in San Francisco, and those garbage guys are like, "Did you see that? No, I didn't, and neither did you. So shut up." Okay. All right. So you guys appear, and Sam gives away all of your disguises immediately by hiccuping.
That was me.
Gina. Damn, I lose a story point. All right. So TARDIS lands at the
Right,
destination.
I do take a moment just to say, Cillian, this is psychic paper. It can be whatever you need it to be. Just focus on what you need them to see. And I'm so proud you're here. A great deal depends on this, and you're going to be amazing. All right?
And it might be a good idea to say the specific area that you're needing to get to is what needs repairs, so they'll take you right to it.
Okay.
Your work orders.
So I'm not gonna try and just get through the doors with the paper and then go the rest of the way myself.
They probably wouldn't let you
probably gonna
anyway.
Insist on escorting me.
Yeah.
They
It's
probably
the
will,
central
yes.
lobby of the main room. It'll be obvious as soon as you get there.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a way for us to fake an emergency if you can say repairs, but if not, you might just need to say routine maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Making sure all the systems are up and running.
Mhm.
Checking the alarms.
I'm sure you've heard all this stuff before. You're an electrician.
Do you need some points?
No, I'm
Very well.
All right.
All right.
Let's to it then.
Shall we?
The TARDIS arrives. As you open the doors, you see a vast street in front of you. I want to say it's kind of like an open square. I'm picturing sort of what Europe looks like when you walk out, sort of when you're near the Louvre, and it's like this big open space with people walking. A giant building. It's 2 floors, but it looks very imperialistic. The architecture here is very interesting looking. It's very alien, but it does have that sort of twinge of sort of the imperial Roman Senate kind of feel to it. There's lots of white marble, and you see a lot of Hoki walking around. They are indeed about 4 feet tall. They all look like they're insanely angry at everything, just like, and they're having conversations and patting each other on the back, very friendly-like, but they're just like, it's rather surreal to see this culture. But you also see races spanning the galaxy and universe, walking around here, doing business, conducting themselves, walking by a few races that y'all recognize from various adventures
any of these hokey, as you say, do I see any of them
Yeah, there's a lot
putting
of them.
their right hand in and taking their
Oh my god.
right
Oh
hand
my
out
god.
and putting their right hand in and
doing
perhaps
You're
perhaps
doing the hokey pokey.
shaking it all about. I'm just trying to see if this is something that they would engage in, perhaps some sort of ritualistic expression.
I'm having
No, it
Panic on the
interferes with
dance
their
floor
navigation.
flashbacks.
It would turn them all about.
Indeed. It was my Well, that's what it is all about, apparently. So, that's the end of that.
Making the GM trying to kill himself with a toy sonic screwdriver.
It's better than
Yes.
My Sonic does not have a zap setting, so no.
Oh, there we go.
Mine does.
I know, he doesn't have yours.
So, stepping
So no
out-
to that.
No, to that. No. There's not a cultural dance taking place with a
Thank you.
circle and.
Alright, the electrician's going, and then a non suspicious amount of time later, the large party of new clients.
Fly casual. Gotcha. So, so stepping into this, you and Zeeps into the building first. Yeah, they're actually, you're kind of surprised. Here you are in yet another alien planet, untold distance from Earth in a different time. And walking through the doors almost feels like you're in what is reminiscent of a 1930s bank. Like, walking through the doors, they spin. But you can tell that they're technological and highly advanced in nature because as they're spinning, they're scanning everyone is walking through the door. Which immediately makes you and Zeeps kind of glance at each other. But the two of you pass into the doors with no problem. You see this like sheet of blue, I want to say like a holographic like laser projection of the scanner, just you stepping through it, and you continue to move into the bank. It's a large glossy black floor. This place is probably about 200 feet from the door to the teller and another 100 feet across. So it's a big open space.
Quick question: does that mean the scanners did not pick up Cillian's pistol, like laser pistols?
No reaction from anything that happens as you step through the door.
Good to know.
I think they're safe.
And nobody seems to react when you all walk in. Like Zeeps just kind of glances over at you. Let's. I have to have Zeeps roll some composure here.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
You see a bead of sweat on the side of his face, but he's just walking. He's like,
Oh, baby.
I'm an electrician. I'm an electrician.
You are.
I'm an
Electricians.
He takes the hint. He just, you all stop and kind of looking around as you're just watching all of these races move about. You see a lot of the hokey are behind the teller desks, and you hear one of them just say, Zeeps just turns and looks at you and says, "So which one do we do?"
I'm gonna go over to the main doors by the back because there's security there. I think it would be security I want to talk to, not a teller. I think talking to a teller might be a bit of a red flag in this case.
Their security here looks like they want everyone to know their security.
Yes.
It's a hokey that's dressed in body armor up to his neck. It's kind of like turtlenecked around his neck, and he has what looks like a targeting. It looks like a cybernetic device that kind of encompasses the right side of his head and comes down into like a reticle that lets him target. And he has multiple guns wrapped around his legs, and one set of arms is folded, and the other one is just fidgeting off to the side of his guns. Yeah. As you approach, he just looks at you like he wants to kill you. As you approach him, and Zeeps kind of just.
I give him the same look. I'm here to do some routine maintenance on some of your
The psychic paper.
yeah. This is
Looks
the
at it
subject
and says,
matter.
"Good! I'm so happy you're here! Go to the freaking teller! Welcome to the bank!" And he hands it back to you.
Thank you. All right, Zeeps, that was a little unsettling, but just look back at them the same way they look at you, and I get the feeling we'll be okay, mate. So go talk to one of these tellers.
Thought we were about to die.
Yeah, you and me both. So now I'm going to say the same things to the teller. Hi, your security guy said I should come over here with this. This is This is what I'm here for, to do some routine maintenance on some of your electrical systems.
Just very fluidly, one hand picks it up and passes it to the other, which brings it up to his face, and he just looks at it like, seems to be in order. Hands it back to you. Wait here. And then he steps down, and
We should have come to this planet
Zeeps
earlier.
is just like
Sweetie.
oh my god.
You're
It's
doing
gonna
it.
be, Zeep, it's gonna be okay. Just act like you're as pissed off as they are.
Yeah.
Turn that fear into anger.
You're right, mate.
Get mad back at them.
So angry right now.
Yes.
So pissed.
There you go. There you go.
I'm a
Feel
child.
angry. Thank you.
Yes.
And at about that point, the doors open, and in comes everybody else
Yes.
Yep.
walking in with your masks on. Roko.
Except my bright orange jumpsuit and my because I'm like something out of a movie.
You do get glances.
Ten comes
You
You only
you guys
keep.
get glances. Okay,
Little
so Roko,
yes.
you're gonna, if you're trying to be convincing, I am going to make you roll
Yeah.
an awareness plus subterfuge roll.
Oh, wait.
Oh no, this would be presence plus subterfuge.
Yeah. All right. Straight point.
I will give you one as well if you need it.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yes,
I will do that.
you have one.
May I borrow another die?
I don't have
Yes,
one.
have.
May I borrow another die?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, tell me what you get. It's fucking 20,000 dice.
So that was presence plus subterfuge is 10, 25, 26, 27, 28.
Okay. Roko is doing a fine job of presenting themselves as feral and angry. It is challenging for the rest of you not to go, oh, because angry
Yeah.
Roko trying to impersonate an angry feral creature is kind of coming off a bit like you just want to hug them.
Are there,
But
are there any?
everyone else who has never seen an Overcall and who is watching
I am the
Roko,
one escorting Roko, just giggling under my mask.
I'm snapping at him.
Yeah.
as
bite
Roko
you
tries to
down.
pull like
Down.
a rabid Hannibal Lecter, you escort them in.
They're an open teller.
Yes.
I'll take the lead on this if you'd like.
Doctor, I need to make you, as the Corsair steps forward, first of all, you all spot Zeeps and Cillian at the other end of the
Your head
bank.
exploded.
Um,
We go and rescue you.
You do spot them. They kind of glance at you and immediately glance away, like they don't know you. Doctor, I need you to make an awareness presence check.
And can I do a quick sweep of how many security guards and like how many people are currently here? Just like a general like
General sweep?
army
Yeah.
sweep of what's happening.
You don't have to roll for that.
Okay.
You get a general idea. There's probably about 70 to 100
Okay.
in that range. There's a lot of
Need
people
more
here. There's probably just a glance from the ones you can see. There's probably about 20 security guards.
20. Okay.
Today.
Go ahead and make your roll, Doctor.
I've spent a point on this.
Okay.
My awareness presence is not that good.
Would you like another?
We'll save it for if we need it. We can.
I'm going to give you one because I have a lot. You can take one.
Making it rain over here.
All right.
Indeed.
All right.
I put myself back in 6 after that earlier confusion. Sorry. That
Okay.
was- all right.
That's okay.
All right. 8. 2 TARDISes. 18. Plus 6 is 24. Okay.
No, that's fantastic.
Plus 3 is no. That was my doing math face,
Oh.
which is for some reason
Oh.
tricky today. 27.
27, which is the second highest target number in the game.
Got him.
I'm ready to pick it.
You
are aware of
Doctor, with that roll, it's just chance. But as you're sitting there and you're watching the Corsair glance up, you kind of look to your left and it catches your eye immediately. But you see what looks like just an alien race, a humanoid-looking alien race, is making a deposit right now and is placing things up on the teller. And you see this alien puts up on the countertop the device that the other you used to regenerate the master.
But she already has that.
The one that that the other
I
her
don't.
brought.
No, the master gave it to you in
No,
your Christmas
it's
present.
sorted out and fried. But
No.
No, the master gave that to her in his Christmas present
Yes.
to her. Yes.
but it doesn't work anymore. It's been destroyed.
No, it was the one the master gave the doctor the one to take back
But you
to
haven't
bring it back
cycled
to life.
back and
Yes.
done it yet, have you?
Yeah, you haven't done that yet, so,
So
you
you
still
might
have
have
it.
it been dropped and then.
But you
found it.
see that device is placed up on the teller's counter.
Help me to clarify. The device which is currently in my possession is also on that counter.
Yes.
We're near the paradox.
Because she is the one that hasn't
Whatever
been
I
used
did, I
yet.
didn't do it.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's also true.
It's the
Does
same
it look
one.
like it has been used?
You can't tell from here, but it's definitely the same device.
And I can't tell anything about the people depositing it?
No, it just looks like a random alien race, probably putting forth a bunch of technological doodads that are up onto the thing and doing business with one of the Hoki. And it's a brief moment because the Hoki immediately takes it and begins to deposit it.
What does that look like?
The Hoki begins to place it in what looks like a box. And the box is immediately sealed.
Box is
You
sealed.
see him run what looks like, it almost looks like a laser cutter, but it doesn't actually project a laser, but you see the box like claws grip it, and he moves it and steps down and disappears behind the teller desk.
So does it look like he's leaving for another room which gives him access to the way downstairs, or like sinking into the floor, or
Looks like he's leaving for another room that'll give him access to the way downstairs.
Okay.
Yep.
Jose?
You approach the teller?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Welcome to the bank!
Thank you. We are looking to open an account. We have a very rare and dangerous creature we would like to deposit.
Don't let them put me in!
Right over there, as you can see.
Does this, kind of this motion, and you see 10 security guards nod and begin to approach all of you. They all walk up.
I take it that your security can handle such a creature.
Our security can handle anything!
That
We
is
saw your
excellent to know.
advertisement. It was very impressive.
Very good commercial.
Takes a slip of, it looks like a paper, pulls out a data pad from underneath it, slides it over. Please enter your account information here to open an account. Name! Last name! And just kind of starts taking you through. Date of birth, relatively! And just kind of takes you
Before
down.
we make this deposit, can you tell us a bit about
Very good.
Can you tell us a bit about the arrangements that will keep our possession quite safe?
The Hoki then begins to go into a long spiel about the bank, its security, the process of taking it down to the vaults. The vaults is being protected at the center of the planet. The teleportation device kind of just unloads all of this. Doesn't give away any like inside information, but explains to you the general idea that this thing is going to be protected quite well.
What about our own personal access to our deposit? What arrangements need to be made in order for us to visit, to enjoy viewing it?
Want to know.
Clients are not allowed inside the vault.
So you would bring it up to us if we were
Correct.
to come.
Interrupting you, just cutting you off.
That is very good security.
Not good enough. I'll get out of here. You'll see.
What are your defenses against psychic abilities? I believe this creature is in possession of them.
We have ways.
Excellent. I would not want any harm to come to you or your people.
Points at the form.
I just start writing down.
Okay.
Who is responsible for the care of those in possession of
Oh yes, I guess it will need to be fed.
We have ways of keeping it in stasis.
Oh, interesting.
Are there any ill effects to the stasis we would want it intact?
Anything organic stored here will be protected.
Yes.
How is it woken up when, let's say, we need it back?
We would retrieve it for you and bring it back to you. And he just kind of slams his fist down.
We merely have questions.
I'm happy, so happy to answer them for you.
We can tell.
You see the smile crack across its face. Yeah. so-
Meanwhile, I've written down.
A security guard is escorting you behind the desk.
And
You
I
are
did write
led
down
around-
Lisa as my first name.
What's that?
I did write down Lisa.
Lisa the Time Lord?
Lisa Avlorian.
Okay. You're
Your
taking
last
behind the
name is your
desk.
species?
Yes.
Where are you going?
He said the
Upstairs?
Ablorian.
No, you're going downstairs, right?
Yeah, we're going
Oh.
downstairs.
2 security guards accompany you into one of the back rooms. You're led down a
Led
hallway where you come
Ablor.
to a staircase that is sealed behind a door that's probably about 6 feet thick. And it goes slides aside, and you are all walking down stairs that work like escalators. So and you're passing through more scanners. And when you get down to the very bottom, there's 5 security guards waiting for you. And one security guard walks over and starts muttering something to them, and they all stand aside. Utility closet can be found this way. And he starts walking. Follow me! 2 more security guards fall in line behind you guys. Zeeps has a second drop of sweat. Says, "My, it's very warm down here."
And
There's
we
a
saw which
counter
way
on
he
his
went,
character
right?
sheet. Drops a
He went into one of the many doors that line, but that's behind the teller's room. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are being escorted in.
And meanwhile, I'm stretching this out with questions about the form, like, what specific planetary timeline would you prefer for date of birth?
You think he's patiently answering all of your questions? It's very difficult to tell. He could be outrageously pissed off that you're wasting his time, but for the most part, it seems like he's answering all of your questions accurately. Doesn't rush you at all. But occasionally, it looks like he'll occasionally have like a tick where he just, and then comes back to talking to you. Like he looks like he's on the verge of a murderous rampage.
I'm just going to assume that's totally normal based on what we know about the species. So
Probably totally normal. Also impeccably dressed, by the way.
that is a lovely outfit that you are wearing.
He's
Takes advantage of your physique very, very well.
You're not sure he's flirting with you, but he kind of.
Oh, I'm definitely flirting with him.
I look like
Flirts
I'm
back.
trying to like elbow Finn or whatever, but really I'm just kind of like snuggling him.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody just rubs off on everybody.
Yeah. You just start nuzzling.
As you can see, we did not tranquilize the creature because we didn't know if it would interfere with the systems you have in place to put them in stasis, as you said. We figured any sort of chemical imbalance could
The
damage.
creature can be neutralized instantaneously if it becomes a problem.
That's very good to know.
But it is vital to us that this creature remain safe and intact in the condition as originally deposited.
Good! We can do that so long as it does not harm any of our other customers.
I hope it would not do that.
Although it is very dangerous.
Velig, you're just standing there very quietly listening to all this?
Indeed.
Okay.
We are not doing that thing.
Okay.
Well done.
So I'm guessing y'all are just going to keep talking to him then?
Yes,
That's your action?
yeah.
Okay. So you're escorted into the electrician's room, so to speak. It looks like the inside of a server room, like a giant computer server, and it's row after row after row of all these cables have been wired together. You almost flinch, Cillian, when you walk inside this thing. It looks so Earth-like to you. At the moment you stop, they might use different variations of colors for their wiring, but as you're walking in, it looks like all of them are tied together to keep them organized. The temperature in here is really low for all intents and purposes. You almost feel like, oh my god, this all looks familiar to you. Zeeps goes, oh, this doesn't look, I don't recognize any of this. And the security guard says, knock 3 times when you're ready to come out, and closes the door behind you.
Bloody hell.
Zeeps goes, there might be security cameras, so just be aware.
Of course, there are security cameras, but
Let's do it. All right.
all right.
You gonna do your
So-
work your mojo?
I am going to. What am I rolling for here anyway?
So on this, I'm gonna say this is going to be an ingenuity technology check.
Oh, how about
That's your stat, right?
that? Yes.
Make your roll.
Oh man.
No.
Yeah. Sorry.
You can spend points to bump up your level of success.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because I rolled a 14.
You might want to spend a point.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a point.
So you'll bump up your level of success. So that would have been. So you will succeed then.
Okay.
Um,
I don't want any buts right now.
You find it's easy to succeed because you guys had blueprints of this stuff, and it doesn't look like it's changed. So you actually find yourself standing in front of the access junction point that of the cable that will lead down to the junction points under the floor.
Yeah.
It's that one cable that kind of passes through the wall and it'll go up through the ceiling. Zeep spots it too, points it out and says, "So what do we do?"
That's the part I'm not 100% sure about.
Do we want to just cut
Do we
it?
want to cut it? Do we want to... I think we have to cut it. I think we
Leroy Jenkins!
Well, my point really is, if we do anything else, they'll be able to... They'll
Get it up and running again.
get it up and running again.
Yeah.
We kind of have to cut it.
Yeah, decisive actions.
Yeah. So yeah, not only am I gonna cut that, I'm gonna cut as much as I can to really,
You want to go crazy.
yeah, I wanna
Zeeps
take
goes
this as
into
far
his
as I
gun.
can.
He pulls out
I
a
wanna
gun.
throw this whole
Oh.
place into disarray.
Give me the signal when it's time to set off the distraction.
Cillian just looks at, Zeeps looks at you and goes, "Oh mate, this is gonna be good."
It's gonna be epic.
He turns
Bruh.
towards the servers and raises his gun.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All
All right.
Say the word.
The word.
The word. And he pulls the trigger. Zeeps literally opens fire and starts shooting everything that looks like it has a blinking light. It's like trying to pick a lock with a crowbar attached to a chainsaw, kind of just Zeeps just kind of goes nuts and starts shooting everything in the room, and sparks and smoke begin to fill the place.
Make sure you cut the actual lines.
I'm guessing you use your device to just split the cable.
I'm just cutting it.
Well,
I thought about just remove the one part that we need to. I'm like, there are 12 security guards?
outside the door.
Yeah, forget cutting the blue wire, I guess.
Maybe.
Cut the whole rainbow.
The alarms go off in the bank.
And I hit the
I
button to
yell,
send the TARDIS.
Distraction! And I fire in a circle around me.
With what? With a laser pistol?
With my
Oh.
with the blue death.
So Blue Death would never have been allowed in
Then
the
I
bank.
No.
then I don't say distraction.
But
I say distraction.
I scream
What?
distraction.
Yes.
No.
I scream distraction.
Okay.
Right, I send the TARDIS.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing this.
The alarms go off. People immediately start looking around. Velig screams, "Distraction!" And the guards are looking around.
What have you
I run
done?
towards the guards.
Okay. The guard, who looks stunned for a second, you turn around and just make your... I'm going to go ahead and give you... Everyone's kind of shocked at what's happening.
Yeah.
You're activating the TARDIS is coming in.
It's going it's going to the chair.
And I
Velig,
look at the guard and I say, "You called this a bank, do you?"
make a strength plus athletics check.
All right.
I have a feeling you're going to be good at this.
6 and 11 and 13.
Okay, 13. So roll.
Let me add something to that.
What do you-
Let us point to it, should I?
If you add a point, I'll let you raise the difficulty or the success level.
Then just leave that.
So, okay, cool.
13.
You go, "You call this a bank?" And then, like a battering ram that you are, because you're a Sontaran, you body tackle this guy, and he's just... There's very few creatures in the galaxy that can withstand a body tackle from the Sontaran. He is definitely not one of them. As you take him down easy, you impact to the side, your shoulder checks into his stomach, and he goes, "Ah!" And then you are on the floor. He splays out and looks like he's stunned from the sudden onslaught. And at about that point, all the lights in the rooms go and start closing off, and the tellers begin to run.
I want to immediately book it for the doorway we saw. The rest of our guys go through.
So then that's on the other side of the room. You're not going to make it.
Okay.
Now, there's doors lining the walls, so if you want to try to get past the teller desk, which, interestingly enough, does not actually have a barrier to separate you from the teller, you can actually make a leap and try to get to one of the doors before they close.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay, then this is going to be a very difficult roll. This is going to be a coordination athletics.
Coordination, athletics, and I'm going to spend a story point for this.
Okay, then roll 4 dice.
What's going on?
We
in the
have-
room?
Are we in the dark?
35
Yeah.
minutes.
Are we in
How
the dark?
dark?
I would say emergency lights would come on.
I gently pick up the guard and rest him against him, see if he's all right. Are you all right?
He's looking at you kind of dazed.
Stay there, please.
He still, by the way, has guns lining his leg.
Don't
Not anymore.
use those.
What's up?
26.
Okay. You get an idea that this is why the Corsair is so good at what she does, because she vaults over that teller desk. Corsair, when you get to the other side, you realize the reason why there's no teller wall is because as you vault over, you see plates, looks like pressure plates lining the other side of the teller thing. It looks like a security system, perhaps a trap that's been activated. You don't know what would have happened if you had landed on it. Probably something lethal. But you managed to compensate at the last second, and your heel, barely misses one of these pressure plates. Now, you've been across the galaxy, and typically something in a secured location like this tends to disintegrate things when they get stepped on like this. So as you step down the other side, you kind of stop for a second. Assuming that's what that is, you may have just barely dodged insta-death as you come across the other side of that desk.
Be very careful coming over the counter. I'll yell back. And is there a doorway that's still?
It's still closing, yeah. You managed to get to it. With that roll, that's a phenomenal roll.
Okay,
So you
and
actually managed to get
is
up
there-
to the door.
Is there a security panel on this side or is it on the inside?
It's on the inside.
I'm going to go inside and sonic drill it to try to keep the door.
All right, the door goes and opens back up.
Okay.
We very carefully guide each other into that door.
I want to grab the bank teller that we were talking to with my cyber.
he's-
Oh, did he run or did he?
tellers all ran.
Yeah, everybody bolted, but there is a security guard that's fully armed and is coming back to consciousness on the floor as Velig's screaming at him right now.
Oh. All the security guards ran too?
It doesn't look like they came after you guys. It looks like the security, for the most
they
part,
went
has
after the
gotten up
disruptor.
and scattered into the doors as well. They could be headed straight for the vaults. You're
Okay,
not
then
sure,
never mind.
but
If
it
no
looks
one's
like,
in here,
it
that's
looks like
fine.
the room is almost completely cleared out.
Yes, we carefully
Yeah.
get across, pick our way across that floor.
Okay.
following
Hopscotch our
Jody's
way
example.
across the floor.
Okay. All right, you guys.
What's behind the door?
Behind the door, you watch just as you see the last remnants of what looks like the tellers disappearing down the hallways and turning in the opposite direction of the vault. But you see one of the many spidered like hallways that actually lead to the room that'll take you down.
Great.
Yeah.
Cillian, how are you doing?
You hear on the other end, you hear blaster fire, like laser pistoling fire, like going off, and you think you hear the laughter of a young adult male, and you have cut the cord, and then you hear the doctor's voice in your ear.
Cillian, how are you doing?
I'm alright, but there's a lot of security down here. The quicker we can get out of here, or somebody can get down to help us out, the better.
We're on our way.
All right. I would like to basically just be leaning.
Yeah.
Oh, those were not.
Okay.
Those were never a thing.
Oh no, I was
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
Yeah,
They-
I think you declared the key.
I
earlier.
said that they are holding the key in their hand.
All right.
So I'm just gonna lean into Finn and rely on her to like keep me moving
Yeah.
forward while I start trying to see the path to the Eulokia. with
That's going to
clairvoyance.
require the clairvoyance.
Yeah.
So that is going to be, you can't lean on Finn for support. You're going to go catatonic, as you normally do when you're doing
Okay,
this
fireman's carry or pigback?
So you're literally going to, but here's the thing, with a strength 6, you can carry Roku.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
I just hit, like
I
hit
do
them.
whatever
I
we've
won't
done.
even make you
when
roll
we
for
do
that.
this.
You
Yeah, it's
got
literally my
that
hand
cyber
goes
arm
my hand goes
Sit in
around the
curve
waist.
of her arm.
Yeah, no,
just
it,
kind of, yeah.
It's a really strong arm.
I was really
Oh, yeah,
scary,
'cause
wasn't
your
I?
leg.
All right, coming away now.
Okay, Roku,
yeah,
so
my
you're gonna
arm just sort of becomes a swing. You sit here, head sort of draped over the shoulder, and it's just sort of that motion.
So, Roku, so real quick, you're going to spend a story point to activate your...
Clairvoyance,
Okay,
yes.
cool. You're navigating through the hallway, just zipping
Seeing
down.
who's there,
you're
seeing what
seeing
everyone's
a lot
doing.
of tellers going, ah, and like running around the corners and whatnot.
I can't tell whether that's panic or just,
Some of them are saying, hurry, hurry, hurry. And you zip down into the hallway. You go down, you go passing right through that big metal door. and down this escalator-looking object where you see security guards are running back up. They run past your consciousness as you fly down, and you're sensing the blaster fire, and you hear the unmistakable laughter of Zeeps. As you round the corner, you see one of the closet areas, so like this big metal door that's been sealed from the outside, but it is not locked. And are you passing through to find out what's going on with them?
With whom?
With
do you mean
those
by
two? Because you're basically in the area
Yeah.
where they are behind the door.
No, I'm gonna keep going.
You're looking for the teleporter.
I'm looking for the path to
Okay.
the path to where we need to go and beyond and beyond. And I
You
can just
zip
clear the
down.
path.
You basically zip down two of these sort of electronic staircases and get down to a single room that's about 60 feet in diameter with technology lining the walls, metal pillars that kind of they crawl along the edges of the wall, and it looks sort of like a steampunk styled transporter room with lots of steam, kind of hissing sounds. Maybe it's not used very often, but you see on the pad is the teleportation pad that takes, and it says, you see like a console that actually has a status of the teleportation and the receiving end, and it's active.
All right, and I'm going to keep speed it. Like I can keep looking for more things as we
Yeah.
do stuff.
Okay.
Because I have a long time.
Yeah.
Are we seeing or hearing where they are? Like all the firing?
Well, there's you guys had a good look at the blueprints, so you know which direction to go to get where you need to go. And as you reach that metal door, that 6-foot metal door, which has been left ajar, as you're pulling it open, you're watching security guards run down the opposite hallway, going this way, and pointing.
Cillian, tell them you were attacked by TGs and you think they're headed for the vault.
Will do, Doctor.
You're hearing the doctor.
Will do, Doctor.
Zeeps goes, I don't know if we can shoot up anything more in here.
I think we better turn our attention to these security guards. They're going to get in here any second, mate.
Right.
First of all, the doctor just told me, tell him that we were attacked by TGs.
Okay.
And secondly, let's not shoot at them if they don't immediately shoot at us.
Right.
Then again, if they immediately shoot at us, we might be dead. So let's get ready.
Okay.
So
But you're
I'm
open the
guessing
door?
the security's coming in for us, right?
That's what you're expecting,
That's-
yeah.
Yeah. So
So you're gonna pull open the door, or are you just gonna wait?
I think I'm just gonna wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys managed to get to the security door. You're running down. You've yet to run into any security. And when you get to the bottom, you find yourself in a large hallway that branches out, and you see the closet that they're inside, behind a metal door. It's unlocked, just like Rocco you spotted when you had gone out of your body. I'm assuming you're back in your body now because you kind of found where you're going.
Oh, I
There's
just
really-
figured that there's only I have way more time of clairvoyance than
passing?
like. So I wanted to like that's one action's worth of looking at things. I'm
Right.
going to be continuing to look at things. 'Cause
Okay.
I want to keep going deeper.
So there's no.
All you find
Yeah.
is more hallways outside of that teleportation device and more people running.
Oh, I'm gonna go down into the planet.
You cannot use clairvoyance to go straight into the planet. If you want to travel with clairvoyance into the center of the planet, that means your consciousness is literally going to have to clear about 12,000 kilometers, and that's not going to be as snappy. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be out for a really long time then.
Okay.
And there's no security outside of the electrical
You
room.
haven't specified.
No, doesn't look like there's anybody outside the doors. And the
Oh.
doors are unlocked.
Oh, Cillian, never mind.
When you get down here, there's nobody here.
Right, just come out.
But there's smoke leaking out from the doorway.
Well, actually, when you say the door is unlocked, but there's smoke leaking out of it, you mean just smoke from them shooting everything,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, come outside.
All right.
You guys open the
you're
doors.
just right out there.
Yes.
Okay.
No
Where
security.
the hell is all the security?
Hi.
Where did they go?
Well
Hi.
done.
Yes, thank you.
yes.
You too.
Zeeps just goes, that was great.
Very good job.
You did it, mate.
I'm wondering if, just an idea, if the Eulokia has taken over the bank and that's maybe who they're going to protect. Because they don't seem to be coming after the people invading.
That would be very interesting. Let's be prepared for that. But let's make our way to that teleporter, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Yes. By the time you all reach the room I described, you don't encounter a soul.
This is weird.
You get to the
Very
teleporter room,
strange.
it's fully active. It
Aye.
looks like there's still a cup of coffee in here or something similar to where maybe an operator just dropped what they were doing and ran. But it's active and it's empty.
I want to, unless you want to do this, we should see if we can take control
This
of the
is-
teleporter so no one else can
this
use
is
it and we
too
can control it
easy.
via sonic.
Yeah, we did activate the trap. We don't know what the trap is.
Am I getting any information from the TARDIS? Is it being fired on in its new location?
The TARDIS has successfully landed in the lobby. And
I
is-
asked it to go to the tear.
oh, to the tear?
Yeah.
It cannot access the tear.
So in fact, the only alarms that have the TGs haven't appeared. None of that is happening.
No TGs have appeared. But the TARDIS was unable, you can tell the TARDIS was unable to access the vault.
So the TARDIS hasn't gone anywhere, and the only alarms right now are because of this wire being cut.
Yes.
Right.
So the TARDIS appeared just in a lobby with us.
I assumed that the TARDIS was being summoned to the nearest possible location and was appearing in the lobby. If
Nearest
not, then the TARDIS is still where it was left off. Because if you tried to bring it to the vault, it would have returned to its previous location.
So the TARDIS did attempt to follow my instructions, and
The TARDIS
zeroed
attempted to
on-
follow your instructions and cannot access the vault, so it returned to its original location.
Still might want it in the
So
building.
it's still in the parking lot outside.
So what
Oh,
set
okay.
what set off the trap then?
You
Just
probably,
cutting the
because
wires.
you cut the wires and Zeeps opened
We
fire
don't know
on
if
the
it's the
entire
trap,
system.
it's just the alarm.
Yeah.
So then why did the security run away?
We don't know.
We don't know. This is.
But they all seem to be running as quickly as they could, and they all seem to be quite frightened by everything that was happening.
What was Rassilon's trap? How are they expecting us to come in if it's not keyed to the TARDIS arriving at the tear? All right.
I guess we're gonna find out now.
I'm going
I'm still
to.
upstairs with them.
You
You didn't come
with
down?
you didn't follow them?
No, I
Oh.
stayed with the guy.
Okay.
I'm going to scan the teleportation pad to see if I can shift
Uh-oh.
control from the pad controls to the sonic, so only the sonic can control it.
You
Or is
you'd probably have to burn some story points to pull something like that off, but
Okay.
you wouldn't be able to do it remotely. But you can give yourself
Oh,
sole
aren't we
access.
in the? Oh, okay. Oh,
You
we
guys are
give.
still in the teleportation room. No one's
That's
moved.
what she's talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
So are we still in the what?
we're in the room with the teleportation
Yeah,
pad.
you're in the teleportation room.
What
Yeah.
are you saying about remotely?
Oh, when
She
we're on
was
the other
asking if
side.
she could use the Sonic to just have access and control over the teleportation.
Oh, well, then I'll do it so they can't access. They can't turn it off from this side. If
Okay.
that would be simpler. Yeah.
Okay, then go ahead and you're going to spend story points to do it.
No, we actually think we want to turn it off after we go in. It's a one-way teleport.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh,
Then.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Make
yeah.
sure it breaks.
Okay. Set it to send us through and then turn off so no one can follow us.
Okay.
Okay. Do I need to spend a story point for that?
You'd
or-
have to spend a story point for that.
Okay, I'll spend the drill story point for that one.
All right.
I'll give you one. I got mine. Take one.
I'm just gonna.
Okay.
fully
Can
arm
do I need to
myself
roll for
right
that, or
now.
does it just
It's
do
a
it?
story point.
Okay.
Well,
What's up?
one on, 'cause the other one has a red.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, like I'm taking gun out and sword out
Okay.
because I don't know what we're teleporting
I'm also.
into.
I'll take out the Suntor and gun sword.
Okay.
Oh no! You know what? I'm taking out the Gallifreyan pistol because that one has stun. One of them.
And I'll spend a story point to engulf us in my shield like a big bubble as we're teleporting because we
Okay.
could just be shot the moment we're there. So
Okay.
That's a good plan.
Just to balance that out, Gina,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 1 point of strength damage.
Okay.
From the strain of expanding
can't I
your
just
bubble.
use the story points of my arm?
You can do to give yourself the bubble. I'll let
Yeah.
you do that. If you want to burn 2 story points, I'll let you do it without being strained.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
do two.
But you might want to wait till you're on the other side to activate.
Sure,
yeah.
whichever way is easiest.
Yeah. So we got 20 minutes.
Mechanically.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
In we go.
In we go.
All right. You guys all step up onto the pad. Gina, you activate it, and you
Jerry.
all and you appear on the other side of this large. The teleportation pad is not protected inside of this vault. The vault is 2 floors. It almost looks like the inside of Alcatraz, and it's about as wide, and it has multiple floors going up, all the sealed doors to the very end. And at the very end of the vault is a rip in space and time. This huge rip. It's probably about 100 feet across and almost 200 feet up. And you see the swirling purple vortex maelstrom on the other side of realities constantly trying to pull against each other. The moment you arrive, you all can feel the universe in this area, reality itself, is breaking down. It's become very apparent because some of the doors towards that end of the vault have become things of complete random nature. That chaos that you visited when you were on Santar is very present here. So as you get closer to the vault, growing out of the steel floor is grass. Things like that. It's like walking into the chaos of the wild, essentially. Yeah.
Do be careful. Where is it in relation to where we know the Eulokia is?
The Eulokia is on the other end of the cell. So this vault, this rip in space-time should be right next to the Eulokia cell.
Any security?
There's no one in here.
Right.
I think if there was
many
security near, we
life
could just be
forms are
like, we're
down
here to
here?
fix that. And
How much of biological nature? I just
You
want to
don't
do a
know.
quick.
You're not sure.
I
can,
can't see like.
You see doors, but you don't see.
Oh.
Yeah, this place is sealed up.
can I do psychic just to see if I sense any other minds present?
The
Does-
moment you activate your psychic power, you feel stabbing pain.
So what's been happening?
It's almost like the high-pitched squealing noise in your ears, like you've just gotten clocked across the side of your head.
Can I tell if that's from the tear or if it's from the security that we
You're
thought
not
we
sure
took
where
him
that's
down?
coming from, but possibly from security.
If it's from fucking
The psychic security might still be active. Be careful.
You and me again, Doctor. You want to
Yeah.
close another hole in?
They've reached the
Let's
vault
go
before
fix it.
your clairvoyance.
Yeah, I seem to jam back in.
You're gonna
like,
jump
as
back
a-
in?
No, that like I sort of had a weird jam because I was like moving, and then
I could
my
see
body
that,
moved,
yeah.
but I was still in clairvoyance
I
when
would
we
say-
teleported.
I would
so
say
let's see what
no.
happens.
I would say at this point you're aware that your body has moved, but it
Yeah.
doesn't cause a disorientation.
Okay.
But you're aware that your body's now ahead of you, where you're going.
Can I use that to leapfrog so that I can keep looking in places?
You can,
Or at least
yeah, I could
join-
say
rejoin?
I could say it's much easier to pull yourself than it
Yeah.
is to sort of push yourself away. So yeah, you kind of like.
Otherwise,
immediately-
I just jump back out and jump back in, and then I'm there. like,
well, conceivably, I mean,
Or at least
Jody
try,
just tried
like,
to use her
yeah.
psychic power and couldn't use it
Yeah.
in the vault.
but
Right, Finn Corsair, can you look for the Eulokia while Cillian and I try? Cillian, take seats, and Cillian and I will go after this tear. It's the same direction,
right.
so I don't know why I'm saying that, but let's go.
Let us all walk in the same direction then.
Yes.
All right. So you all
I mean, I'm
rush
still
forward
just, I'm
into the vault.
carrying Rocco.
Yeah.
You can
gotta
do
wake
two
me.
things at once.
Yeah.
The force field's up.
Force field's up.
Okay.
Three
You guys.
things, three things at once.
Yeah.
You're a remarkable woman.
You guys are rushing towards the tear. As you reach it, it's
I'm gonna get as much information as I can as I'm running.
you're scanning it. Go ahead and make your ingenuity technology roll.
Awesome. If I could pick up any sort of residual, like, crazy Indiana Jones style hallway traps on the way, I'd like to do a general scan as I run.
Okay.
that's the setting. Indiana Jones style trap.
Well, I can scan. I can scan for traps while you scan the tear. If that
Perfect,
works.
yes, please.
Yes. Okay.
13, 14, 15.
And what was that roll again to scan for traps with the MySonic?
It's going to be ingenuity tech.
Ingenuity and
18.
tech. No, I.
You're trying
I
to,
don't
and you're scanning the tear.
So I'm scanning the tear. She's checking for traps.
All right.
it's not
19,
bad.
18.
18. Okay.
And 19 for scanning for traps.
Okay. You just kind of, I'm guessing, any kind of traps or anything unusual. It's specified. You mean like technology traps or?
Yeah, technology traps, 'cause since it's the Sonic.
You sense that a lot of the doors in this place are probably rigged to trap, like I said, those temporal loop traps.
Right.
But it doesn't look like, as you're scanning for it, doesn't look like this place is getting full power right now. Might have something to do with the fact you cut one of the wires. It's hard to say. Doctor, as you're scanning this paradox, it's just like the other ones you've encountered, and reality around this is actually just as chaotic. But you're sensing a little bit of a discrepancy, probably because there's not so many of these things anymore, being that this is supposedly the last big one. The others need to can heal on their own, but this one is one of the you need to doctor up, so to speak.
Yeah.
But you're also detecting, the closer Cillian gets to it, you're detecting, once again, Cillian looks like he's becoming a battery.
Right.
Like he's building up paradox energy around him without even realizing it.
And just as a general note, I'm also quite keeping an eye out for, Rassilon.
Okay.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Have
Anyone
I
else interacting with
Yeah.
this tear, whether it's being siphoned off currently in any other direction, is there? And where is Bellic?
Bellic stayed behind. So, Rocco, as you are moving through the surface of this planet, you're starting to feel the resistance as you're getting closer. It's like a shell of psychic energy. And the closer you're getting, you're beginning to, it's like this sort of darkness that's, this amorphic darkness around you as you're moving through rock and molten rock and lava and all sorts of, your just consciousness is passing through, and it's almost like you're flying through this, you are flying through the center of this planet. And suddenly you become aware that the closer you're getting is this sort of bubble of anti-psychic power on the inside, realizing you're not going to be able to connect to your body while it's inside this bubble. But as that realization is coming over you, you suddenly feel a very familiar presence, not what you think it is.
You don't know what I think.
I know exactly what you were thinking.
Do you?
You feel a very familiar presence, and you start feeling a pull back, like an urgency to return to the TARDIS. It's almost an emotion that floods into you for a second.
Can I roll an empath check?
Yeah. I would let you do that.
I'll spend a story point
I'm close to there
Yeah.
if you want to signal me.
to see whether it's that or.
Yeah.
Well, they're like a sort of a psychic
Yeah,
entity now.
Close to there if you want to see.
12 plus, what do I add?
This is going to be 12. So I would say I would say once again we're going to make this. I would say this is going to be a presence resolve.
All right. 29.
29.
Yes.
Okay, you actually hear the voice of the TARDIS calling you back to her immediately. It's a sense of urgency.
All right, I trust her.
That
Okay.
that tethered like psychic connection you made with her. Once again, you find yourself being able to, but you hear that familiar voice. You two were supposed to never be able to talk again, and yet here you are hearing her, and it's almost like she's telling you, "Come back now."
I do. I trust her implicitly.
You feel that consciousness of this ancient being reaching out to you, and following your instinct, you pull away.
And like the psychic clairvoyance version of me is like super good. Like,
So your proximity as you're scanning this tear is actually starting to cause it to start to close. The door to the vault is right where to this prisoner's.
The Loki door.
Yeah. It's right next to the tear.
Right.
It doesn't look like it's been affected by the paradox, at least not yet.
Still
The
might.
Paradox could turn the door to cheese. That would be excellent.
I mean, we can get through. Just do
think about
the
it
tear first, so we don't walk into the vastness of space or something.
Of course.
Is there anything you would like me to do?
It does.
Yes, I'm fine. I've taken
Or
care of
Swiss.
the guard.
Roll through the
Is there
hole.
any problem that you would like me to address?
This is what happens. You hear Veli go, "Is there any problem you would like me?" And he goes to static.
Velig? Velig?
Velig, as you hear Velig, and then you lose the doctor.
Indeed.
As you're sitting there listening, the doors to the bank go. They open up, and you're hearing footsteps, and then lots of footsteps, and you slowly turn and look up, and walking into the bank at its point of the spear, you see, fanning out from both flanks, you see on both sides, you see probably a total of maybe 20 TGs.
Oh.
As they
That
flank.
all?
That's all.
I
They begin
stand
to
up and
flank
go,
out.
"Hello!
They flank out.
I am First Librarian Velig of the TARDIS.
Oh no!
I would
We're
advise
gonna
you
be now.
to turn around and rethink your life choices."
Well, that's not all you're seeing, though.
Oh.
They're flanking someone.
Oh God!
Well then.
There's a man, stands about 6 feet tall. He has a very refined jaw. He's a very handsome man with dangerous-looking dark eyes.
He's a Centauran, is he?
He's dressed in ceremonial Gallifreyan armor.
Well, he's not a Centauran then.
Huge, like sweeping, like Baudric's, and you see a great sort of like golden sun behind him. It looks like he's got golden gauntlets on that come to a stop in claws, and Gallifreyan script written all over him. He's wearing deep burgundy robes and symbols of an office as he comes striding in.
Does he look like he might play James Bond in another
He looks like
reality?
he probably played James Bond at one point in his life.
I do beg your pardon, but you can go no further.
He strides through the door and comes to a stop and looks at you.
Hello. I am First Librarian Velig of the TARDIS. I advise you to reconsider your life choices as I have. Violence will get us nowhere. And I bid you a good day. Distraction number 2!
He looks at you. And then he turns to the TGs and says, kill him. And they immediately raise their rifles and open fire.
I know.
I'm sure he's fine.
Roko, you find yourself in the TARDIS control room, and you feel you're seeing this like psychic projection, and all of a sudden you find yourself standing in front of Rose again. And she says, "You're here. I'm very sorry. I don't know if you're going to survive this, but I need you to join with me now." And she extends her hand.
I'm sorry, friend.
And you take the TARDIS's hand, and she looks at you, and she grips your hand, and all of a sudden, this golden energy starts flowing throughout your body, and you see way too much all at once as you slip into the consciousness of the TARDIS and begin to fuse with her. Finn, as you're dragging Roko and you're watching this, everything seems to be going so smoothly, and all of a sudden, you see Roko in your arms does something you've never seen them do before when they go into the psychic projection. Their body just goes completely limp.
Doesn't it usually go limp?
Usually they're catatonic,
Yeah.
but there is sort of, remember, like you've seen Roko kind of react.
Yeah.
Well, this is different. It looks like their body, it looks like the connection between mind and body has been broken. And you see Roko just immediately, like mouth hangs open and eyes kind of like rolling off to the side.
Immediately checking pulse and seeing if they're functioning still.
Pulse seems to be very slow, but it is alive. But the body seems to be alive.
I don't know what you're doing, but you better hurry up or stop it right now.
As the terror begins to close, you guys all start hearing the doors, the teleporter activating behind you all.
The one we turned off.
The one you turned off.
Great.
Zeeps goes, something's not right. Something's not right. Something's wrong. That shouldn't have been able to be activated. And as you were all turning, you're buzzing with the sonic screwdriver. You turn and look back, and you all see the similar scene that Velig saw. You watching a small legion of TGs coming around the corner, and at the head is the Lord President of Gallifrey, Rassilon. At last, face to face. He's walking in, but the thing that draws your eye is the body of a Centauran in his left hand that he's dragging. Smoke is just emanating from the tops of his chest, as if blasters, multiple hundreds of blasters have shot him through the chest, and is just smoking through the back of him. And he, with impressive strength, tosses the Centauran's body, and you watch as Librarian Velig of the TARDIS rolls to your feet with lethal wounds all over him, dead. And with that, he just says, "Hello, Doctor." And that's where we're going to end today's episode.
No.
I want to thank Darren for joining us in this cast. We've been talking a lot about what was going to happen with Velig, and Darren and I have been discussing about Velig's story arc and Darren's availability to play, and we realized that Velig was going to have one chance to go out, and we realized that Velig would go the way Velig would go, and
He went out without firing a single shot because he's changed so much.
Because he had
Oh my
refused to harm
gosh.
another living being.
Roll, we're all singing him a Sontaran opera at his funeral.
So I want to thank Darren for bringing this character to us and letting us play with him. And to thank you so much for being in the cast and for joining up with us and lending your passion for Doctor Who to our game, because it's been amazing. Thank you so much for Velig. We will never ever. I'm so sad to see. This is the first time I've actually had a character death in a game since I first started role playing. So this is gonna take some getting over. But
Tell me about it.
You're the one who did it. What do you have to get over?
yeah, but.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So this is gonna be it for you, Darren. Thank you so much for joining.
God!
Thank you so much for joining this game and for giving us this gift of Velig Third Librarian.
First librarian.
First librarian.
You made all those beautiful speeches, and I didn't like. You horrible man. Thank you so much for the gift. And being here with us.
It's been a pleasure, a genuine honor and pleasure to have you play with us.
Velig's been really great, and he's been in it since the first episode.
Velig was in it from the beginning.
Yeah.
All the love. Jeez. in pure keeping with Doctor Who.
I'm trying really hard not to be really hysterical. Velig's like the best,
Yeah.
and
So
so is
we're gonna-
Darren.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap up, though. Thank you so much. Oh, that was. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It was.
Thank you.
He's been suspiciously quiet this
This
game.
whole game. So.
I was giving away story.
Yes.
How did we all miss it?
So
We
thank
just
you.
figured he just got them back so easily because of how awesome he was.
Because he's Velig.
He changed from the first episode.
Yep.
You did a full circle of perfection.
That's what Doctor Who's about.
About changing and becoming a good person and then dying terribly, apparently.
So we've got to wrap it out now. But again, thank you, and thank you all so much for watching us today. And remember, as always, there's always a storm, there's always a quiet, and then there's always a dawn. So catch us next week as some serious shite has gone down as we're nearing the end of the story arc. And thank you, Darren DePaul, so much for joining our cast. And despite all of this, I encourage all of you every day to stay whimsical. Catch you next time.